Hello everyone, Dickvic here, and welcome back to another Reacts video. Today we're going to be digging into Starfield Direct Gameplay Deep Dive. This is a 45-minute video, and if you knew the history here, this is going to be a long one. I'm hoping it's under 2 hours, but I don't know, because we like to deep dive. Now, what are my qualifications for these React videos? I have well over 50,000 hours played in video games. I have been a no-life gamer since I graduated high school. Just straight no life. Super nerd. So that's where we're going in on this. I like to pause a lot. I like to rewind a lot. I like to rewatch little things. I will nitpick the ever-living crap out of the tiniest little things, make my assumptions, try and explain them, and like we're going to dig deep here. And I have to caveat, I am so excited for this game. It is the most excited I've been for a game in a long time. And I hope it doesn't disappoint like some of the previous ones, like Cyberpunk and other things like that, but whew, I'm looking forward to this. But like also, I love my daughter. She's not born yet. Kind of a little announcement here. But her due date is literally the day early access starts for this. Love her to death. But, you know, transition, you get older, your times change. Kind of move on, it's fine. We're gonna get right into this here. So sit back, enjoy the ride. This is going to get long. Like I'm just predicting length. Now I might maybe some girth, but a lot of length. Yep, he went there. Let's get into this. Press the play button. There we go. Xbox. Oh, there's a logo that used to mean a lot more than it does now. Bethesda, you better redeem yourself. Same with you, Microsoft. We're trusting you. Oh, I love the little radio calls. That's good. I've heard really good things about this. I'm behind on this one. This supposedly got a lot of hype about this game up and going.
Hey
cool
everyone,
there.
thank you so much for joining us today.
Ah, Ted Howard. What can we say? He's done some stuff that none of us were fans of, but it's fine.
And welcome to Bethesda Game Studios. You know, we've been so lucky over the decades to make the kind of games that we love here, and that's thanks to all.
I shouldn't be picking on them, but just you really like making Skyrim over and over and over again.
All of you, from the Elder Scrolls to Fallout, we love creating these worlds and playing in them just as much as you do. And throughout all that time, we'd often talk about and dream up the space game. What if we could take that feeling of being who you want to be and exploring a new world, but set it in space, where you weren't really limited in where you could go or what you could do? And that is Starfield. Obviously, we've come a long way since then with the games we've...
Hold on. Why don't they have the 47 different versions of Skyrim lined up here? Come on. At least own up to what you have done. Be men about it.
Build our technology and all of us here in the studio. We've done so much together, but, well, we've never tried to make a game like this. Today, you'll get to hear from many on the team and see so much of what we think makes our game special. So, let's jump in.
I mean,
and see
they got a dude in overalls. I'm down. Like this guy right here, I don't know what he does, but I bet whatever he did, what does it say? Mods team? It's a mods team. Or is that like moderators for like a forum, or is he gonna
game special?
It's fine.
So let's jump in and take a look.
Come on, who wears overalls nowadays?
Starfield is our first new universe in over 25 years, but it's still a Bethesda RPG through and through, where you step into a new...
It's beautiful. I don't think it's me, but there's stutter. If you watch those mountains render, it's jumping frames. Also, this dinosaur, when it first rears up and moves,
is our first new
actually doesn't look too bad. But there's frame
years,
skip.
But it's still a Bethesda RPG.
It's like jump
through, where you step into a new world and you get that feeling of unlimited possibilities. But this time, it's not just one world. It's over 1,000 worlds. Because the choice of where to go, it's not ours, it's yours. And it wasn't until now
mean, the game looks absolutely gorgeous. We are in 4K, yeah, 60 FPS. So we got Dino, a little hunch in his back. It's a little creative thing. It's a cool world. It's just gorgeous. The slow walk. I mean, it's always good to have an RP walk. The detail on him looks nice. Charbios, you got O2, CO2. So you got water, like he's dehydrated? Or is that just the planet is a desert world? And then you've got a radioactive symbol. See, this one doesn't have any indicators. So is he better? I'm talking about in the bottom left here. The UI is what I'm talking about now. Just piecing things together. Like I said, I haven't read anything or really know anything. I've seen articles of people saying that it only runs at 30 FPS on a console, which, like, I'd believe. What is the icon that's rotating around the map? Is that a compass to where he landed his ship? But then it's not in this one. I don't know what that little symbol is.
Yours.
Cool little guys.
And it wasn't until now that we had the technology to create it. From the rocks at your feet to the mountains in the distance, to the people and creatures that live in these worlds.
I want to watch that ship descent again.
That live in these worlds.
This is what I mean by we're gonna pause a lot, we're gonna nitpick. Like if you watch the ship's descent, there's no, I don't know what propulsion they use, but there's no like exhaust plumes or smoke coming off of all of these thrusters that are trying to stop its downward descent. Also, it's coming in hot as hell. They just have the trail behind it. That's fine. But
that isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too. We realistically simulate the galaxy around you. Our next generation lighting model uses...
They say galaxy. It's 1,000 planets. That's not a galaxy, my friend. Galaxy, millions upon millions upon millions on millions of planets. I digress.
Real-time global illumination to light the world based on the...
I could just... I love exploration in space games. I love seeing alien ruins and other civilizations and high tech, which I don't even know if this game has, but like just stumbling across that in the distance and driving up on it, and like hopefully it's a cool point of interest. Hopefully there's lots of things like that.
Type of star and the makeup of the planet's atmosphere. We also have an all-new animation system. And of course, you can play it in third person, and you can play it in first person.
Are we not going to be locked in animation? Sweet!
We love exploration and rewarding it, but you do...
I mean, I have seen Reddit titles and things of people comparing this game to No Man's Sky a lot. I haven't read any of them, but like here I am already just going, this is like the No Man's Sky scanner. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, take the good things and like, how else would you even do it? You need a scanner, you need to be able to look around. Other games have done it. But like this whole percentage thing on the left, this just reminds me a lot of No Man's Sky. And hopefully they do take a lot of inspiration from No Man's Sky, and hopefully they expand on it a lot.
Explore differently in this game, given its scale. That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in. You can collect resources.
It's not like I don't mind this mechanic, but like I've played a lot of different games like Warframe where they try to do a different type of mining where it's like an actual mini game, and that's more annoying. But also it's just like, I don't know, you just point a laser at it and there's just like nothing, and then it just pops into a bunch of little pieces you pick up. It's just a weird, I understand that's just how these games work, and I can't off the top of my head think of a better system, but like the little UI they've got. I wonder if the battery light on the gun itself actually changes. They also have the health or arm ammo energy in the bottom right. It looks like it's 100 out of 96. It probably regens slowly. And I hit the subtitle button, it happens.
Do a mission.
Good physics there, though.
Even stumble upon something unexpected.
Abandoned mine. I'm really curious how many of these things are going to be around. So, did they make the combat better? Because the first little reveal, combat was not the best looking. That was a sweet slide up in here, though. We're gonna rewatch that. The guy doesn't hit him once, no hit detection, so enemy accuracy is kind of... Going back again. Man, I hope this is easy mode AI, because that's terrible. The gun sounds are still just... Did that guy just scream my eye like he got shot in his eye? Could you take a round to the eye from that angle straight forward and still survive? Question mark. But I'm gonna comment. Really like the animations. That was the wrong direction. And by the animations, I mean the mobs. They seem to be ragdolling, reacting to being shot, which is nice because not the most pleasant thing in the universe. They actually have feedback. The gun sounds, though, are just hot garbage. Or at least this gun. They're so quiet. And, like, I mean, who doesn't like explosive backpacks? Like, especially if they make them fly up and pop up in the air. Like, come on. This is one of the best animations ever in The Division, where you shoot the flamethrower guy and it shoots out. He's like, oh, and it explodes. Then you had the smart ones, or not smart. We'll go with more dedicated or veteran or experienced, where they would get hit in the back, realize they're going to explode and die, and they would charge at you and become suicide bombers. Cool little thing.
We do love stuff and all of the items allowing you to pick everything up, and you can view all that in your data menu. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship.
I have to go there, everyone. I'm sorry if you play on consoles. I'm sorry if it's your preferred. I don't even know. It's just... Radial menus, I'm sick of in PC games. We have an entire freaking keyboard, multiple buttons on our mouse. There's people with foot pedals. You got Stream Decks. You've got semi-touch monitors. You've got all the buttons in the universe. And rotary windows. It's better than Fallout. I haven't been able to play Fallout 4 again in a long time because going through the inventory management is a nightmare on PC. So I'll give this more of a chance. It's just the rotary menus, personally. PC gamer.
Your missions and your inventory. We love to pack a ton of detail in every object, from all of your weapons to spacesuits.
It looks good, though.
To food. We just obsess over the details and food.
Well, I mean, we gotta look at the food.
To food.
Someone who loves to cook. So you got meat, bread, like some veggie mix, french fries. What is this? Restores 15 HP. So you can just down have a sandwich, get HP. It's patty melt. So it's just like a hamburger sandwich. It's actually how I prefer to make my hamburgers. We have this really good white bread we get here. It's irrelevant. I digress. But either way, I prefer the white bread we use instead of like a normal hamburger. But then like a good hamburger bun, like a nice brioche or something. Top notch, but
obsess over the details.
Just synth meat steak. I mean, we're doing this in real life. We're growing steak. I don't know if I'd call it butcher's best if it's a grown meat. But
and food. We obsess over food.
That is bugs. A little bit of dollop of whipped cream. In Western culture would say, disgusting. But I mean, it's a lot of the world that eats bugs. Got alien
When
jerky
you're
over
done
there too.
exploring, you can walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have companions and crew you can take with you. I left Vasco here back at my ship.
Welcome back, Captain Howard.
And he can even say your name. Let's head out.
I have to go back just because I personally love watching all the little steam vents on the ship. I think it's gorgeous. Always have in every game.
Your ship. We have companions and
such a good looking ship. Now here's a weird, almost impossible idea, Bethesda, but it'd be like really cool since you're gonna allow us to customize so much of our ships. Can we can you sell 3D models of our own ships, even if it's at an exorbitant price, where you 3D print and paint and just make the ships for us, no matter how crazy ludicrous ours are? It'd be great. Or just sell us models of our own ships. Because I believe, I don't know this. I don't even know why I know this, just like screenshots. I think it's like modular ship design. And I just think that'd be a brilliant idea. I'm not even digging into the game here because so far, there's not much for me to nitpick. Everything looks good. There's no weird physics with the walking. The dinos were good. There's the little stutters, but it is what it is. The ship coming down trail, but like everything. I can see why people are getting hyped about this.
Take with you. I left Vasco here back at my ship.
Oh, Vasco.
Back, Captain Howard.
And he can
interesting robot design too.
Let's head out.
So again, gonna have to nitpick at the particle effects people, and it's probably because of the limitations of just hardware. Those thrusters burning into the ground like that should kick up so much dirt. Just like it should be this dramatic liftoff, like from this planet. Like you should be blowing holes into the ground. Like people would know you landed there like a year later because there'd be 4 holes where those engines shoved into the ground like that and just dust particles flying up everywhere. I think it would look freaking amazing. Like just go watch a space shuttle launch. And like they're not even hitting dirt. They're on concrete pads, super like clean, and just there is crap going everywhere. It is a lot of force. I love the little bits. She ain't aerodynamic at all. And we're doing red flames, so oof. I don't know what other magic they got in here, but that's probably not enough lift to get that thing up.
Our mission was to convey
not enough smoke either.
And majesty of space exploration, to evoke the romance of the golden age of early spaceflight. And we've been referring to this approach as NASA Punk. This means a design language where the tech is advanced, yet still looks grounded and relatable.
For us, it's that contrast. That's where the visual interest is. Obviously, the NASA.
They did a wonderful job with the tanks.
Style, and then Punk, which is
the bits
all about style.
Everywhere.
You can see that visual style coming through in your ship. Your ship is your home for you and your crew. And like many of the spaces in our game, it has
does look very space station-ish.
Analog touch. A bit of lo-fi rather than sci-fi, where everything is well used, worn, and lived in.
Alrighty.
That looks really, really, really good. I'm just gonna have to go back and watch that again. The whole animation lock, getting out of your chair, I mean, it is what it is. It's probably gonna be identical every single time.
You can see that visual style coming through in your ship. Your ship is your home.
Face looks a little washed.
And your crew. And like
bin C88 R9. So those are just like, I assume they're usually for electronic compartments, electronic fuses, switches, relays, things of that nature, which is what they look like they are here. You've got the handle, which is like a, I want to say a sub thing originally, where you would grab onto the blue handle above the door and fling yourself through the little porthole thing. When I've toured submarines, that's what some people do just to show off. And the door's big enough where you don't need that to grab onto. Cool little touch though. It's like just a little out of place due to the size of the door. I mean, I guess it's good to hold on to if you have to stand there. If you're, I guess I don't know if they're using artificial gravity on these. The fact that people are just standing on the ground would assume we're looking at artificial gravity here, not zero-G travel through your ship or inertia travel of any sort. Oh, no. Still pretty.
Many of the spaces in our game, it has a slightly retro and analog.
I wanted to look at that last.
And like many of the spaces in our game, it has a slightly
They did a really good job. The chairs, love it. It reminds me of The Expanse. It's almost like identical to like you sit in it, strap in, and like reverses backwards, and the screens are kind of above you a little bit, come down. I think that's a wonderful touch. I don't even know if people will pick up on that, but like, wonderful touch. It's excellent. And as long as the station is orientated towards the front of the ship, it does make sense, depending on your lateral G's for movement and stuff, especially if it could rotate, to always try and match those. So you're always being pressed into your seat the best you can instead of left, right, or up and down. Lots of switches. The analog stuff looks amazing, which is what they're talking about. They did. It does look very NASA.
Retro and analog touch.
Exposure pack. So presumably that's like an emergency rebreather or something if there's a hole, or if it's chemical fire in here or some shit. I don't actually know what that's for. They've actually got text on the buttons, which is wonderful. Because old games, they used to not have text on the buttons. It was like gibberish. Scribbles.
A bit of lo-fi rather than some.
Ooh, she looking good. Just much beauty. I love the little hoses. They do not take at all. I'm talking almost 0%. I can't say 0, it's like 5%, because they have bungee cords over those cubbies on the right-hand side to hold things in place. But again, it doesn't look like 0G. There's a lot of unsecure objects, and they don't take the one NASA approach and or the Expanse approach of never, ever have unsecured objects in your spacecraft. I'm talking ever. Because if you have to make a hard left, hard right, lateral G turn anyway, and you aren't rocking artificial gravity, anything and everything that is not strapped down or magnetically attached to that ship is flying that way. It's going to break things. It's going to hit you. It's going to hurt you. Even those slippers can be dangerous flying around. You have to do some stupid maneuver at a ludicrous G. But, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that helmet could easily kill someone. There's a weapons case up on the shelf. Someone's dead. There's like a steel trophy held in by 2 bungee cords. Murder. Just death. Kill someone immediately. His hoses would be flopping around everywhere. The wear and tear, the dents from the boots kicking it look amazing. Makes me think they use like steel-toed boots, like hard like ski boots, to be denting that a lot. The dirt, I mean, you could keep your ship cleaner, but looks used, looks worn. Very good.
Where everything is well used.
Love the stickers. They got pictures of their little robot companion. I think that's the artifact. When I was setting up my stream, I jumped to a random point in here recording, and just to test audio values, and someone said something about an artifact. I think that's what that picture is. Status, tired, ZZZ. That's a cute little picture to have over a pillow. Nuclear rockets. Bungee cords are really nice touch. Whoever came up with that is like, this is practical, it's really cool, but at the same time, the amount of unsecure objects is just so dangerous. I love the don't use sandwich. White bread, lettuce, cheese, multi-meat. Mission 2. Missing chunks. Huh. Wonder who really likes that sandwich on the ship. But this is your kitchen. Unsecure pot. Just straight up murder someone. Wash hands before starting work. I mean, doesn't really matter. Look at how dirty this whole place is. I got like 3 slices of bread up there. I guess it could also behind the door. I was trying to place that, but it's a slidey door. Don't know what that is in the top left. Lunar Robotics. A little poster. Love the mirror. The reflections look gorgeous. Little hand towel. A little stiff. Yeah, I feel like it should be bent a little bit more. But like super nitpicky here. Got nice little crinkles and the paper towels coming out the thing. Plates, bowls. Everything's unsecure. Straight up murder folk. Oh, you get doors missing. Love the wear.
What's the plan, Captain?
This is...
What the was that sound? Did someone just fart when he touched that console?
What's the plan, Captain?
This...
That's your used console sound? It's not the worst, but like that's a weird sound for a console use.
This
Get it? They did digitalize a little. It's like a, but yeah, you could confuse that as a little like someone farted in like a little echoey room. So we're looking at a planet here. Survey 44%. Cool. I wonder if you survey from space or if you actually have to go on the ground and survey the whole damn planet, which could be ridiculous. It's got resources: H2O, FA, ARCA, HNCN. So I wonder, presumably some sort of crafting, you have to find certain materials to do certain things. It's a type rock, 0.52 gravity. Curious how gravity on planets will affect your movement. Obviously it's cold. It's thin, CO2, magnetosphere weak. Water is radioactive. Interesting. Moon of Poriyama 4
is your star map. It starts with the planet you're currently on.
Mission show. What is show me why? Set landing target, back to system. The set landing target? I think that means you can land wherever you want.
You can see all of its info and resources. You can choose a landing spot or fast travel to known locations.
There you go. They just showed it.
You can view all the.
Love it. Love the visualization of gravity wells. What a beautiful little thing to put in here to make this just slightly different than other games like galaxy maps, world maps. It just looks good. That's beautiful. And it's a great like subconscious like it's educational to some extent. Like it's a great visual representation of space-time, and yeah, I think that's amazing. I don't know what to say. That's a really cool
planets in the system. Obviously, the game is big, and it's here you can see planets that have key locations, missions, or life on them, versus the many planets that are barren but resource-heavy. Zoom out even further to see all the systems in this part of the galaxy. Here, you can plot a course to ones that are light years away.
I can't say anything yet because this is clearly on a console because it's an Xbox showcase with a controller, but like I hope that the map is easier to navigate than No Man's Skies with a mouse and keyboard.
This uses your ship's grav drive to fold space and jump to these systems, and you will need to upgrade your ship and skills if you want to jump to the most distant ones. But for now, we'll plot a course to the Alpha Centauri system, where we can find the city of New Atlantis. The city of New Atlantis.
What's he flipping here? Damn, he got some good hand-eye coordination with those gloves on. Just like he done this multiple times. Hit those buttons that quick. It's cool. Seen better effects. I'm curious how that looks when you're hung on a long loading screen though. But also like, come on, where's the big red button? You flick over the case and smack that warp button and it goes. What is it? Little switches? Like, come on, give us that big bloop.
Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Scan complete. You are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
Would engine trails look like that in space? So you are burning stuff. There are plumes coming out the back. Would they fade to nothing by getting smaller, or would they fade to nothing by getting bigger because they're dissipating through the void? I don't actually know. I'm going to have to look at footage of a rocket in space, but I'm pretty sure it expands. Expands till it would fade into enough small particles and have less energy and not be glowing anymore, but then disperse into nothing, not fade into nothing by getting smaller. Well, again, don't know their engine technology, but just know
you are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
As soon as you land in a city like New Atlantis, your eyes are guided upwards to just these boundless, vast buildings.
It's the biggest city we've ever made, not just in size, but also in the amount of custom art, crowds, and quests.
I mean, one, building's sick looking. Landing, cool. I still think they could just ramp up particle effects to the point where it crashes every computer in the world to make it look better. But I mean, you can't crash everything in the world. And it's got to run at 30 FPS on a console. So the NPCs, they look like shit. Sorry to say it. They look like shit. And like the density, if anyone's lived in, like I lived in Boston, you live in a city, you see tons more people. There's places that are this sparse, but like, again, limitations, but the NPCs look like shit.
As soon as you land in a city like New Atlantis, your eyes...
They're so washed out. They're just like, they look like dolls. I don't even know how to put it. They're like cheap kids' doll toys.
Are guided upwards to just these boundless, vast buildings.
It's a cool building design, though.
It's the biggest city we've ever made, not just in size, but also in the amount of custom art.
Yeah, design, beautiful, gorgeous. I like the people doing things. I don't know why you have so many dudes just looking at nothing there. Yeah. Clothing is also a weird thing for futuristic games and or not futuristic. Like, will we just dress the same? Would we have different patterns? Would things go absolutely crazy? But then, I mean, I guess if you look all the way back to like ancient times to how we dress now, they've shifted, but I don't know. I've got weird hats in here, which I guess is a good thing. I'm just not impressed by these screenshots. The planet ones looked a lot better than like this, personally. This just feels dated. I don't know how else to put it. Like, tell me I'm wrong. Put the little sign up, prove me wrong. This feels dated.
And quests.
So the main focus when we're designing...
Those two NPCs glitch into each other.
And quests.
I think the guy in blue glitches through the woman in white.
But also in the amount of custom art, crowds, and quests.
Yeah. We're pretty damn sure they phase through each other.
Art,
if not, it's darn close.
And quests.
Also, like, how cool would it be for NPCs to actually have physics and bump into each other? I know we're not there technology-wise, but then they could get like a little argument there, and it could not be like a scripted event.
So the main focus when we're designing a city is obviously what supports the story. We try and tell as many small stories as possible.
This is a Colony War memorial.
It's a few moments of gameplay that make the space feel like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
That stuff's really cool, and I have to admit, Bethesda, you've done that well in the past. I hope you continue to do so in the future. It's wonderful to just hear little snippets of people's lives. When you just want a relaxing, slow gameplay feature, you just stop and you just listen to idle conversations around. And I think it's a really cool thing. I used to do that in Mass Effect as well.
Make the space
I want to see this
like
person go down the stairs again because it looks like shit to me.
About their day-to-day life that make
yeah,
the
her feet like
feel
glitch through the stairs.
Real characters that
I don't even think she changes her walk animation. She doesn't. She just keeps the exact same walk animation for those stairs.
Make the
One more
space
time.
feel like
Watch
it's
the staircase.
full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
It's no shit's given. Freaking head of a god chicken, just perfectly stable, neck's not even moving.
Like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
It's paralyzing if you really stop and think about it.
Buddy, it's coffee.
It's also where your adventure with Constellation begins.
And it's so weird that they did, like, when you watch the main character walk or do anything, the animation looks fantastic. I'm curious how dynamic, sorry about pausing your face like this, ma'am. But I'm curious how dynamic your animation actually is from what I've seen. But like, just give the same, I don't know. NPCs just look like they're walking crap. I'm running out of words here for explaining the exact same thing. I'm just gonna shelve that they look like crap.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
By the time you meet them, Constellation is sort of seen as this mythical group.
Most people don't even know they exist anymore. They're the last true explorers in the galaxy, and they're trying to find the answers to some of humanity's biggest questions.
The artifacts are so different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you.
I cannot lie. This little hook and trope of alien fragments and things and this giant mystery, I love it. It's why I played so many of the Assassin's Creed games, just for the little alien story. Didn't care at all about anything else. And I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I love seeing what people come up with. I love the creativity of it. I love the exploration. I love the knowledge. It's like dreams in the real world of traveling the stars. And my wife hates it. She's like, what is on your bucket list? And I'm like, I'd like to see a black hole eat a star or a nebula or a star. She's like, I can't do those things. And it's like, touche. Cannot wait. But like, I can't stop harping on it. Like, look at her mouth move. It looks like shit when she talks.
Welcome to Constellation.
The part that drives me nuts, like, you can actually lip read that to understand it, but it's like, as someone who's dabbled in 3D animation and animating based off live footage and did like Mid-Journey and those kind of things, and I keep up with like Corridor Digital and like other graphic design channels, even though I don't do it myself, there is some insanely easy to use. Like, we're talking just an iPhone and like a good engine and the software that comes with it that can perfectly lip sync, perfectly match a human's facial emotions and tones. Like, it is becoming so easy where indie people can make amazing face things. And this is what AAA Bethesda gives us. It's fine. It's like, it is what it is. The game's probably still going to be amazing. It just feels dated.
We have a lot to talk about.
By the time you meet them, Constellation is sort of seen as this mythical group. By the time you meet them, Constellation...
Is this an old render? These graphics of your character, I'm assuming that's your character in his suit. The detail, the highlighting. None of this looks like the previous shots where they're highlighting your suit or anything. You looked washed out. The details way super faded down. And I believe these were in the first trailer. So I wonder if this is a much older build. That could explain some of my criticisms about her particularly in her face. Or they're running way low FPS and have shit cranked to the max on those other things, and that's why they're doing quick shots. Yeah, the gaming industry's done it to us a lot in the past. We know that's true.
Is sort of seen as this mythical group. Most people don't even know they exist anymore. They're the last true explorers in the galaxy, and they're trying to find the answers to some of humanity's biggest questions.
The artifacts are so different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you. The artifact, if you could place it on the table here.
Oh my god, look at how it's coming together.
That means there's a set built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
It's definitely an eclectic cast of characters. You've got Sarah Morgan, the ex-soldier and adventurer, now Constellation's leader. Mateo, the theologian who believes that there's definitely something else out there. Noel, the gifted scientist and Sarah Morgan's protege. And Walter, a very successful businessman in the settled systems and Constellation's financier.
Anything goes as long as you have the money.
There's also Vlad, the ex-pirate. Sam Coe, the former...
What the fudgikins? Usually hitting spacebar pauses things. Apparently now it brings me to the comments. Figuring that one out. It just looks so washed. I can't... What is going on here? Never...
I do want to land.
Hey, you guys want to watch Dark Souls 3 Chaos Invasion? Just... Apparently I watched 40 minutes of it, or is this like I don't even know. 1 second. Oh, I wish I didn't pause it. I one-shotted to exactly the frame we were at. I was professional. By the way, they all still look washed out, but I just punched the mic. I hope the voice acting is fantastic. I hope it's the best voice acting ever. I hope it's as good as some of the people in Diablo 4's voice acting. That way they can just carry it. Screw what the people look like. You want to just close your eyes during the cutscenes and imagine a better thing. Cool. I hope they can carry it.
Something else out there. Noelle, the gifted
I went back
scientist
farther
Sarah
so I could
Morgan's
rewatch
protege,
them.
And Walter, a very successful businessman in the settled systems and Constellation's financier.
Anything goes as long as you have the money.
Funny, he looks better in my brain for some reason. I think it might be the blemishes on his face and stuff, and the contours and the little wrinkles. He seems more detailed than a lot of the other NPCs that just have plain faces. And his ears look like the other people's, where they're just like crap. But his face itself actually doesn't look terrible. It's got nice lighting effects on it. His animations they seem slightly better. Like someone took some TLC on this guy.
There's also Vlad, the ex-pirate, Sam Coe, the...
Come on. Vlad the pirate. I picked a pirate name. Vlad the pirate.
former space cowboy, and Barrett.
You know...
Can we say former space cowboy for real?
Sam Coe, the former...
He is currently wearing a cowboy hat.
Have the money.
In a leather
There's
jacket.
Also Vlad, the ex-pirate. Sam...
Holding a freaking space revolver. I bet he's just a cowboy that's now part of the ex-cowboy. Ex-cowboy. This used to be a cowboy, everyone. This is not a cowboy, though. He's no longer... He doesn't identify as a cowboy anymore. He identifies completely as something else. Just ignore that he is completely dressed like a cowboy.
Sam Coe, the former space cowboy, and Barrett.
You know what I hate about these pirates? Completely resistant to my otherwise irresistible charm.
He seems like a likable character. I'm looking at their walk animations. He's holding a piece of the artifact. See, this is the detail that they've been highlighting lately. Where the detail in the last scene was not reshot in a new engine of some sort. Also, I think his hand is currently...
Barrett.
Yeah, when he walks, his hand glitches through his suit.
Sam Coe, the former space cowboy, and...
Yeah, right before this frame. If I could go frame by frame on YouTube, I would. But his hand glitches through when he walks. Why would you animate a walk where you glitch through your own suit? Ah! Yeah, Bethesda's known for clipping, though, so that is what it is. I cannot wait for the day that technology gets far enough to get rid of clipping. Clipping has just always bothered me, and I understand that it's such a complicated problem with different outfits and different suits, but like, it just yanks me immediately out of things with clipping. Especially when people sell cosmetics. I'm just ranting about clipping at this point.
Barrett.
You know what I hate about these pirates? Completely resistant to my otherwise irresistible charm.
Just a deadpan face saying that. Like, no... His voice doesn't match. What he's saying and how he's saying doesn't match up with what he's
The journey you take with
animating.
Constellation is just the first of many you'll embark on. The Settled
cool.
Systems is home to all kinds
Kinda
of
spoiling
different
a lot of
stories,
stuff for me.
people, and adventures for you to uncover.
Ooh, I want to look at that
People
furry guy
and
again.
adventures for you to uncover.
I like the little hair sticking off of him. That's a good little detail. I wonder how many different creatures there are. Also, what's the flat part on their back for? Did you flip one of these over and they couldn't get back up? Mm-hmm. Little mitten hands. That looked like a cutscene if I've ever seen one, because it doesn't match up at all. With the movements and lighting and everything else. I'd be fucking sick if that's in game, but I don't think it is. That might be in game though, but it still looks like a scripted event.
The United Colonies is where you'll find New Atlantis, the first major
The ship... Something is off about the way ships come down. The ship that comes in a field... The angle, you'd be nosediving in, like, space shuttles come in like this for a reason, the resistance, then there'd be the vapor compression contrails coming all the way around the ship, not just off the tail end of it. And then no wings, the coming down and swooping. I mean, just freaking murder the people in your ship.
United Colonies is where you'll find
But gravity drives, I guess.
The first major human settlement in space. The people who live here value law, discipline.
Like, the robots look really good when they're kind of like the plasticky metal look. But the people look the same. It doesn't look great.
And the legacy of humanity. They consider themselves the true children of Earth.
You ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, even get your UC citizenship?
New Atlantis isn't the only city within the United Colonies.
Cutscene.
New Atlantis isn't the only city within.
So we got Praying Mantis with a flower head. That is kind of nightmarish. It's kind of cool though, but also like, what the?
In the United Colonies. The city of Sidonia on Mars to this day serves as the largest mining facility for the United Colonies.
Like the details on, I'm harping on the same thing over and over. This is a terrible Reacts thing to do. But it's like, the detail on the clothes doesn't match the skin and the background. It's like off-putting.
Beyond the United Colonies' reach,
lulls.
you might find yourself in a much more wild and independent coalition of star systems. This is Freestar Collective Space.
We're not space cowboys. Promise you. It's a cool looking gun that guy's got though. Hair looks pasted on. The ambiance just looks amazing, and the detail. And I think that's where my mismatch is coming from. Even the terrain detail is just so much less than the buildings and the things and the high-res textures, and like, it just makes this mismatch, right?
The capital of the Freestar Collective is Aquila City.
The Stone Root Inn is an Aquila City fixture.
A ranger relies on judgment and intuition to do what's best for the people.
Neon started out as a fishing platform.
If I'm wrong, someone can correct me, but in Wild West duels, didn't people learn to shoot from the hip? Because the distance to draw and rotate your wrist and shoot is a lot quicker than the time it would take to actually draw your gun, come up to a high ready, and even support it, take aim, and pull the trigger. If you could shoot accurately from the hip enough to hit a human, your odds of winning the duel are infinitely better. So like when this duel goes down and he raises up,
Neon started out as a
to a
fishing
proper
platform,
shooting.
but is now known throughout the settled systems as a pleasure city, where all
I just want to listen to the thunder again. I love lightning and thunder.
is now known
Might be my
throughout the
favorite
settled
place if it's
systems
lightning and thunder
as a
at all
pleasure
time.
city, where almost anything goes.
If you've got morality issues, this definitely isn't the job for you.
I mean, cyborgs? Robots. Whatever they are, he ain't got no genitalia. If it's a dude. But it could be anything. It could be just amphimorphous, I guess. I don't know. But like, that's just a... Like, that's a good thing that I had to go, what? Like, I just stopped and I was speechless at whatever design this is. And it's unique. and I'm not going to go with the word cool. It's interesting, which in my world, in my reality, is an amazing compliment. I love interesting. I think interesting is fantastic, or most people consider interesting bad. I love interesting things. And this is interesting.
Ryujin is hiring the best and brightest of today for our future tomorrow.
Everyone has been chewed up and ground up by Neon. Try not to get yourself killed, all right?
Outside the bounds of civilized space, there are still plenty of unclaimed systems to explore, but these areas are also home to the most hostile factions in the galaxy.
The Great Serpent Hunger.
Ooh. Taking your outfit there, buddy. And like, few questions here.
Factions in the galaxy.
Let's get back to that one.
The Great.
Why are you entering a room, weapon up, like you are clearing a building? Like there could be a dude coming around a corner to kill you. That's the position you're in. The dude behind you is just casually walking around like, fuck it, nothing freaking matters. Everyone's already on the ground splattered. And before you even came into this room, there's a dude, weapon on his back, with no security, no one watching, no one checking corners, unless there are people off screen, which means this dude is just fucking flagging them with his weapon. And he's looked like a medic. Pause, drill kick there to sneeze. And, yeah, this doesn't match up tactically. Which, like, that's a lot to expect games to do, but man, when games do it, it is fantastic. Just keep one ex-military dude who did some shit on your payroll to consult. Like, what would your movements look like? And teach the people. And then it's fine.
Serpent hungers. All heathens shall be made dust in time.
Oh, that weapon sounds so crap.
This is the face of a brave runner here to challenge
She has good animated face too. That's cool. Station.
Galaxy.
I want to see that station again, actually. The Red Mile.
Shall be made dust in time.
It's just... Ugh.
A new face. This is the face of a brave runner here to challenge the Red Mile.
That's cool.
They think the galaxy is theirs. They are
Armor's
wrong.
sick.
It belongs to the crimson.
I want that bar scene again. I wanted to pause on it, but I was a second too late.
Theirs. They are wrong.
Good fog, good haze. She's sitting up on the bar. Could you even reliably or like quickly grab your gun that's on your back that way? Like the way this chick's gun's on her back? This dude, I don't know, this person. Like, I'm trying to think. So what would you do there? You would have to reach up. Pardon the yawn. Reach up, like grab the butt. So I don't think you could reach all the way down to the trigger to grab the grip properly and bring it around. So you grab the butt, swing it up, grab the front, readjust hand down here to trigger. I think that's why most people sling them by the side and everything, so it's just like a quick motion up.
Belongs to the Crimson Fleet. It always has.
Ooh, we got some close quarters.
To the Crimson Fleet. It always has.
And block knife. That guy should know something's up and roll to the side or close the distance a little faster, stop the arm. But he did a wonderful job turning away. So block, turn away to create distance as much as you can with your firearm, with your draw hand. Then he hip shoots him because you don't want to come all the way up to full. The other choice here would have been to grab the stabby arm and either kick or push to make even more distance, then draw and put down. That's actually a decent little scene there.
In Starfield, we're pushing our cities and settlements further than we ever have before. It's all there, waiting for you.
That scale, I love it. With the ship.
In Starfield,
Also, his armor, the gold and red, looks
pushing
sick.
our cities and settlements further than we ever.
That scale. That's what I love. That is a good looking ship.
Ever have before. It's all there.
Okay. Like, I'm just a few things here. One, you ever been to the beach? You ever see where sand is actively being washed up on by water? Smooth. Put a dent in it, a few waves later, smooth. The texture of the sand on the beach continues all the way under the water. Doesn't make any freaking sense, which is fine. It is what it is. You guys do you. That might be asking too much. Sand physics. The people. I can't stop harping on it. They look so bad. Like the detail of the clouds, and you got the trees, the beautiful light reflecting in the clear water, the detailed reflective rocks behind her. You got a beach ball leaning up against a chair. Chair looks halfway decent. Umbrella's way too clean, but it's fine. It's like a polished metal. It's a beautiful building. And then she, low poly, low texture, just like flat skinned, no blemishes, no nothing.
Waiting for you. A slice of humanity's future. Waiting for you.
I want to love the ship so much. But if they're going for NASA retro, they did wonderful with the supports, the tanks, the little bits and bobs. The ships look fantastic. The lack of particle effects in the violent nature of a rocket launch or propelling a ship is completely missing. There's no heat ripples, there's no heat waves, there's nowhere near enough debris being kicked up. All of the thrusters are burning at the same brightness. The primary thrusters on this thing are on the back. So watch the ship. It's going to go from a flat to an angle to an up. What is in the front of this ship making it go up? It doesn't make any sense. It's something Star Citizen does an amazing job at. And all of this can be explained by just gravity drive. And it's like, fine, you're using magic gravity drive, just rotate the ship and send it. And it's like, then why? Why do the rockets? And the way the back things are always also transitioning, like it would drop. And if you're going to do the drop method, then you go way higher, start forward momentum, rotate, drop the rear end, and then you have all your thrusters pointing backwards and you can send it violently up. But this just like magically rotates and flies up, and it takes so much away from me. And like maybe it's just me, but like just
a slice of
tell me that physics
future.
looks right. They have this little puff of smoke, which isn't terrible. I don't even know. It looks like someone launched like a chaff or something. I don't know what causes those little plumes of smoke. It doesn't make
all there,
much sense.
waiting for you.
But it just doesn't look good to me.
Humanity's future.
So, ready to get out there?
I am. I'd love to get into it right now.
Throughout the galaxy, there are so many things to see and stories to experience. But the most important story is the one that you tell. I'm the type of person who spends hours in character creation, and I think people are going to be really excited when they see all of the improvements we've made.
Ooh, cool concept art. Character creation to me, I suck at it. Terrible. Want to be better. Wish I was better. But I suck at it. I spend just enough time in there to think I'm doing something okay. Then I like make the character, and 3 hours later I don't like something and I'm like, ah. And then I'm like, I should have spent more time.
One of the biggest overhauls was done.
Vault Tech? I mean, you represent. I wonder if they have to represent. Or if they just get paid enough to always have clean clothes. Or like, am I a country dude who just lives in a rural place and all my shirts are stained and ripped and like, look at that shirt. Pristine. I mean, I guess he knows he's going on film and everything, but still. Part of me thinks they just like handling these clothes fresh. Love his knickknacks he's got hanging around here, though. Clean little desk, clean setup, up, down, standy desk here, too. Ooh. It's like my desk. Except for mine's not nailed, but mine's an up downy. Why am I calling them up downies?
Through our character generation system, we scanned a wide range of faces from different age groups and ethnicities. And by mixing and matching all that data, we were able to create highly detailed and diverse characters.
We use that exact system.
Those characters look 70 gajillion times better. I really wonder how much they have to downgrade for consoles. Downgrade. Huh. Look at these renders. They're freaking gorgeous.
We use that exact system to create all of the characters and NPCs you're going to see in the game. So any character you see almost always is a character you could make yourself.
Snap out of it.
Hey, come on. Come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out.
Even he does. They don't look that bad. It's the blemishes. Like, the hair still looks pasted on. The fine detail of the skin makes them still kind of like dolls, but just the slight blemishes and stuff just looks good.
You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells?
Any of this look familiar?
Nope.
You start your character creation journey as though you're cycling through employee records. You'll pick from a lineup of 40 presets, and that'll be your starting point. Your journey from there can be as detailed or as quick as you want it to be. This new system has more to offer than ever before.
Oh, they're going full inclusive. Good for them. It's a little feminine walk she had.
It's also the simplest character generation system we ever had. We let the player get as close as possible to make whatever they want. With the various facial morphs you can blend together, the dermesthetic and makeup, blemishes, scars, piercings, teeth settings. It's a lot, but I think it's the most fun to use.
It's just going to be a lot of options, or is it blendy? That's interesting to me. I was expecting a lot of sliders, not just a lot of choices. And I understand the difference. Like, it's hard to balance overly complicated and truly free, and then not be overwhelming to the majority of folk. Oh, if it's any NPC in the game, that means I can make a complete plastic android-looking character. Sounds fun.
Character creation is more than just how you look. This is also where you start to decide who you want to be. That's where backgrounds come in.
What do we got here? They said exploration is a lost art. You didn't listen. I mean, if you have gravity wells and you can travel anywhere, exploration is never dead. It's the infinite universe. Wow, because the universe is infinite. Lol, said that backwards. Ooh, we got Beast Hunter, Bouncer, Bounty Hunter, Chef, Combat Medic, Cyber Runner, Cyberneticist, Diplomat, Explorer, Gangsta, Homesteader, Industrialist, Long Hauler, Pilgrim, Professional, Ronin. I wonder how much those are actually going to matter. Starting skills. Or if you're all of those are going to be able to spec into everything and it's not going to matter that much. It's just literally how you begin the game. You weren't busy uncovering wonders in settlement systems, lasers, professions with laser weapons, or widespread use across settlements. Specialization training can greatly increase their effectiveness, aerodynamics. Advanced technology is one thing, but it takes skill, patience, astrodynamics. Why did I read that as aerodynamics? So it's grab drives. Presumably they can jump farther or go to specific systems easier. Surveying humanity is now and told alien worlds and the ability to decipher all the data with them. That's interesting.
Backgrounds give you a...
Oh boy. Oh, they're flying through these.
That's
okay.
where backgrounds come in.
We're ready for this. Diplomat. Persuasion. So just probably better rolls, commerce, better trade. Wellness. Overall sense of health and even getting prolonged life expectancy. So my brain initially went to, can you age out and die in this game? But no, it's probably just more health. It's just weird that a diplomat is tankier. Cyberneticist, medicine. You get better with medicine. Security is probably for hacking and whatnot. Lasers.
Backgrounds give you a bit of back.
Cyber runner is good at stealth. It's interesting they're going to have a stealth mechanic in here, and I'm curious how it's going to play out because their combat looks neat. We got security again. And thief. Pickpocket. Take all the cheeses. Stack up all the cheeses. Maybe all the sandwiches with the cheese. Make the biggest grilled cheese sandwich pile ever.
Backstory.
Combat medic pistol. You have a laser pistol. Can you be pistol and laser certified? Medicine, wellness again. Chef. Gastronomy for cooking. Dueling. Considering lost our attacks with melee weapons. Ooh, I'm curious. What kind of, like, can we get a lightsaber? Are they going to give us energy swords? Scavenging.
With 3 basic skills.
From chef to dusty. You know, the crew still has a betting pool about which restaurant critic you must have crossed to wind up here.
What's great about backgrounds is you never know when yours is going to come in handy. You could be in the middle of a fancy restaurant talking to some guy, and suddenly you learn he needs a beast hunter to help track down a monster.
Fine. I probably...
What you doing, giant fly? I mean, that's cool, but also, like, do you play through the whole game 30 times to find all the super rare random quests that only one profession can do?
We should stick to professionals anyway, given what happened the last time.
We're also giving you the option
Little
to customize
differences.
your build even further by letting you pick up to 3 traits. Traits are completely optional, and they come with their own advantages.
Right there. That's me, even though I'm a YouTuber. Major introvert. Hate the social occasions. You really need your alone time. Yeah. Considering yourself uses less oxygen when adventuring alone, but more when adventuring with other companions. Interesting. Oh. I mean, I guess it makes sense to introvert a lone wolf, but also, like, introverted people tend to have a select group of close friends that they are very accustomed to and do not get drained by being around. By being around people that aren't in your inner circle or whatever you want to call it, that drain you, but it's fine. So I don't feel like this passive is accurate to introverted.
And disadvantages. You could choose to meet
cool,
your
though.
biggest fan.
By Vectera! Is it really, really you?
He'll join your crew and he'll give you gifts if you're willing to put up with his constant commentary.
I can't believe I get to stand near you, breathing the same air. I've got to have every molecule.
Okay, so they put a stalker in the game. That's a thing. Good on them, I guess. The fly just landed on my head. I didn't want to slap myself so hard that I booped him, and he fell on my shirt. Oh, I just looked at the time. We're an hour and 8, and we're 15 minutes into a 45-minute video. Oh, God. Keep another 2 hours. That ain't gonna happen. Just keep it rolling. This is creepy. I'm curious how it's gonna play out for each thing, if it's always gonna be the same fellow.
My favorite trait is kid stuff. You have to pay some credits to support your parents, but they're very sweet and it's really fun to go visit them.
Honey, we got ourselves a visitor.
Oh my God!
I came across some hostile zealots in space, but because I had chosen a trait that made me the same religion as them, I was able to get by without any issues.
Very interesting little
There's another
details.
great one that gives you a damage.
Also, like,
Honey, we got ourselves.
I want to see those ships again.
To support your parents, but they're very sweet and it's really fun.
It's a cool door.
It's kid stuff. You
Watch
have to
this
pay
door
some
again?
credits to support your parents, but they're very sweet and it's
Like slightly moves and then rotates, not
really
on a
fun to-
hinge. It would make very narrow doorways, which I probably would hate in real life because I'm a wide dude. So, but
Visit
still a cool
them.
door.
Honey, we got ourselves a visitor.
Oh my God!
I came across some hostile zealots in space, but because
Kind of cool ships. They're like different, but also kind of. I don't
I
even
had
know.
chosen a trait that made me the
They're just
same religion
squares.
as them, I was able to get by without any issues.
Cool choices though.
And a
Hold on.
trait that made
Got laser blaster, missiles, engine, shield, grav, energy things. This is just normal space stuff where you have to assign energy to different things. So you don't just build a ship that can run max energy at everything. It's like Power supplies are a great limiter, but we can fold time and space instead of just running everything at max. But I digress.
Made me the same religion as them. I was able to get by without any.
What is he locking onto on that right hand side there? Looks like on his reticule. Interesting.
Issues.
Face fight looks okay, but they haven't shown a
when
lot.
your health is low, but mercenaries will randomly show up and try to kill you. No matter what you choose, there will be plenty of ways for you to tell your
I like that. That's a really cool system. That it's just a little different each
damage
playthrough.
buff when your health is low, but
I want to
mercenaries
see
will
this
randomly
ship coming
show
down
up
again.
and try to kill you.
I've already criticized it.
No matter what,
It doesn't look great. The ships also onto the combat. Just it just looks so fucking stale.
It gives you a damage buff when your health is low, but mercenaries
There's
will
like no
randomly
real
show up
screen
and try to kill
shake. The weapon recoil is like non-existent. You're like hip firing it, which means it shouldn't be properly supported on your shoulder, but there's still no recoil. Their reactions look great. They look like they're wearing metal plated armor, so there should be sparks and stuff flying off. It's not like a Kevlar look or anything, which I think would put great detail and some oomph behind them if where you hit them, if it's on a metal plate, sparks a little. The gun sounds, it's atrocious. It's like you have, I don't even know how to say it. When you shoot in real life, it is such a loud, violent experience. And it feels amazing. And in this game, everything's just like, did you, and like it is deafeningly loud in real life. And it's like, they can explain it away by saying you have advanced headphones on, which we even have in real life, that muffle gunshots, but you can still hear everything else, which is fine. It just, there's still not enough bass. You feel it in your bones. You feel it in your chest. It's a visceral experience pulling the trigger on a firearm, and this game does none of that justice. It feels like I might as well be shooting Nerf darts at them or throwing spaghetti noodles at them.
No matter what you
I'll feel
choose, there will be plenty of ways for you to tell your story. And if you want to remove a trait, there are ways to do that too.
What a view!
That's cool.
It's a feast for the eyes. Off we go to another adventure.
It's like a Marshmallow Man suit. I also like his voice
We'll
acting
let you
though.
discover that on your own.
Her face looks superimposed. The last one. Like it doesn't. It's almost like it's sucked towards the lens or something. Yeah. Interesting. All their armors, their design of the armor, the outfits just looks so good. Also, okay, my brain went, is this a zipper with no zippy thing? But I think the zipper thing is underneath this little latch. You have to undo the latch to undo the zipper, which would make sense because it would depressurize your suit. Love the carabiner, love the little zip tie thing. It just feels used. Like I've got things here held together by zip ties. It feels good. Looks good. Looks like they're improvising, just making do with what they got. Worn. I love it. Looks good. What are we drawing?
Once you've built the perfect character, that's when your journey.
Look at you. Show off. Man, I wish I could draw that good. That's sick.
Can really begin. We took what we loved about skills and perks from our previous games and put them together to create an all-new skill system. Each time you level up, gun player.
What? What did I just do? What? Okay, we just skipped somewhere way ahead. I wanted to go back and look at this kill because there's no blood, no bullet impacts on this monster, no nothing. And I get that it would be so hard to animate these monsters to have bullet hit responses, but like it would have bullet hit responses. It's nothing. It doesn't care that it's shot. There's not a bullet hole. There's not a blood wound.
Each time you level up,
nothing.
You get a skill point, which can be used to unlock or rank up skills.
Mind blown. Sorry, I have to joke right about that.
Ranks are unlocked by completing challenges associated with that skill.
Yeah, he challenges, but fine.
Challenges become increasingly difficult as you work your way to higher ranks.
It's cool
With
though,
our
but
5 different skill trees and 4 ranks per skill, there's a lot to choose from.
yeah,
I like
it's a
the
decent amount.
Sociology skill because it lets you mind control aliens.
That's cool.
Boost pack out of the gate. I'm boost packing everywhere.
I just can't. The combat looks so bad. I mean, they've never had great combat. I mean, I feel you, Bethesda, you struggle.
Everywhere.
You're flying through the air in what looks like a low-G area. And does he have a bullet that went through him? With no exit wound, no entrance wound? Like that tracer round's going through his hip. I'm not even gonna talk about that, but the recoil. Are these all like 22s they're shooting? Maybe. I can't even go 223. It just doesn't.
I like maxing out my physical tree so I can get neuro strikes and just punch my way through combat.
That'll be a fun playthrough.
That one's
fucking. Wow. That's great. That feels. See, that feels good because the reaction of the NPCs, and it's just you're punching people.
That one's a lot of fun.
I love his attitude about it
Invest
too.
in the skills that suit your playstyle.
I'm very much a stealth player. So, I'm out there pickpocketing everyone. My favorite part about being stealthy is
the box on your
creeping
head?
through vents like you're in a movie, and then jumping out and springing on people.
Whenever possible, I like to talk my way through situations.
This area's off limits. Fine, I'll issue you an access card.
I'm more of a run and gun player.
That shotgun didn't sound the worst. And like I said, I say the combat looks like shit, but the effects of hitting people, the way they're spinning, the sounds they're making, that is wonderful. That is top notch. Beautiful, wonderful. We're at 1 hour and 17 minutes. So I'm gonna adjust myself in my chair here. I'm gonna watch this chick again get blown away by a shotgun because the hits look real. They look, well, not real, but they look good. They feel good. But like
access card,
everything you're doing on your character doesn't look great.
I like doing
there should be so much more recoil.
Where I boost pack over guys and I throw landmines at them.
Small mushroom cloud explosion. 1 terrible animation. 2 explosions don't really look like that. 3, there's no shock wave. There's no coming out of that. There's no compression wave. The explosion looks like shit. Like the shotgun looks like it has more impact than that did. I mean, you have a landmine go off, what is it, like 2 feet from you, and this dude's still standing? Yeah. Right, not even that is a big ass explosion. To just be still standing there.
I like blowing stuff up.
That flash looked good. That's cool. That explosion looks amazing. And the fact that you can shoot people in the backpack and they do freaking backflips or front flips and then explode. That's probably the way I'm going to try and kill people the most if that's the animation for that. Sick. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Exploration.
Here's how many screenshots are going to end up on like Twitter, Instagram, just snapshot roll, beautiful scenery, beautiful scenery, beautiful scenery.
Is a key aspect of all our games. In Starfield, there are full star systems with new life, resources, and adventures. Our team worked hard to strike a balance between fun and realism. We study data from NASA and a multitude of other sources to help us make the world. We study
The
data
Dust
from
Walk.
NASA and a multitude of
Good.
other sources to help us
Not
make
perfect,
the
but
world
that looks
feel
good.
believable.
I'll watch that
A
one more time.
multitude of- between
I like
fun
that.
and realism. We study data from NASA and a
Slow walk dust particles.
multitude of other sources
That looks
to
good.
help us make the world feel.
But this is this whole thing showcased on Xbox? Some of these things are looking a lot better than some of the others.
Believable. From the way we
Hey, they showed off heat
help
waves
us
from an
make the
engine.
world feel
Why don't you do
believable.
that in a larger scale in any of your other freaking scenes? Distortion. Distortion effect. You got a ship with its engines full freaking blast going off into space. You got no shockwaves, no compression, no heat trails, no nothing. You got them in this beautiful cinematic shot.
From the way we approached planetary atmospheres to the way we placed biomes based on the planet's distance from the sun. Once we had created a grounded world, we could start looking at all.
Those crystals look like shit, not gonna lie. The way they're just jammed through the ground like that, there's not more dirt built up on one side or dust built up on one side. There's not like a concave of the dirt on any of the sides where wind would wrap around the structure and create a vortex on the backside, spinning out little piles of dirt. Super fine details, but like they just look like their assets smashed in the ground, which is how crystals usually look though.
Once we had created a grounded world, we could start looking at all the
Here's what the orange is on the health bar. I wonder if that's the damage or if it's like an overshield of some sort. You've still got your survivability aspects. It still looks like the markers on the left of the little, I don't even know what to call it. It's your survival meter. That's what I'm calling the bottom left-hand corner. Still just look like toxic things. The creatures, they all seem unique so far and cool. Hopefully they're all handcrafted. And I want to say hopefully there's enough variety to make sense, but like you look at Earth and how many life forms are on Earth. Let's just go with unfeasible to make real planets feel real because of the diversity of life here in today's modern technology, even though it'd be absolute sick if we could.
things that make that world fun.
But I feel like if this dinosaur is the big thing anywhere on this planet and you go to the other side of it or a different continent and it's the same shit, you're like, yeah.
When you leave a planet and head into space,
This is what I really want to see.
navigating asteroid fields, having chance meetings with interesting strangers, dogfighting in space, and exploring.
They
derelict
just smack their ships together with no
meetings with interesting
damage.
strangers, dogfighting in space,
Yes.
and exploring derelict ships. It's all out there. Ultimately, it's about rewarding your curiosity, because whether it's on the surface of a planet, the alleys of a city, or the vastness of space, you name it, it's about rewarding your curiosity.
That statement is very, very important. They need to reward us for exploring, and they need to make a fine balance between you send me down a dead end 1,600 times and there's nothing there. Eventually, you're going to stop going down dead ends. But if there's too good of things there, you become too wealthy, overpowered, and it becomes a little hard. Now, doing that on a grander scale is still fine, even if it's like you find little clues to things, you have to piece things together. That's still a reward for exploring, but it balances it out enough to where you don't just immediately become powerful. Also, like the exploration in space, I can't wait.
Because whether it's on the surface of a planet,
So excited
the
for this
alleys
game.
of a city, or the vastness of space, you never know what you'll find.
I hope that's true. You guys have a history of not that great lately. It used to be epic.
Space exploration is possible thanks to your ship. Your ship is almost like having another character or home you can make all your own. I think you'll be blown away by the amount of stuff you can do.
Oh, I love spaceships. I love sci-fi. I've got poster boards of Tachikomas over there. I've got poster boards of all of the different Mass Effect ships. Oh. Love spaceships, schooling, aeronautical engineering. I am so curious in this shipbuilding and the effects it actually has on your ship and what you can do with those things. We might be here a while.
All your own. I think you'll be blown away by the amount of stuff you can do. You can buy it.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I think
They're
you'll be
going
blown
quick, but I'm
away
gonna have
by
to
the
stop
amount
on
of
every
stuff you
single
can do.
ship. This is my thing. This is my jam. This is what I love. Oh, there's some huge ass cannons on top of this thing. I'm on top of some of the stats here, but it's fine. Fuel, hull, cargo, reactor, crew, jump shields, balance, PAR, lays. So those are presumably ballistics. I don't know what the PAR stands for weapons wise. It's probably lasers. Oh, it's unregistered. There's value. There's mass. Spec cell purchase. These look like pre-mates though. Dragonfire 2. Ships look so good.
You can buy a ship.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
Customize.
Cargo hold adds cargo. Increase your ship's inventory space. Oof.
And upgrade that ship. And hire a crew to keep it up and running.
I wonder how big the crews can
get. It all
get.
starts in spaceports. Every spaceport has a ship.
That almost looks like a 3D model rendering, not in game. But it looks sick. Oh, I love it. I want models of all of them. I want just a giant room full of these models of all these spaceships. This is such sick design.
Ship technician.
Wow. Even this big ugly round thing. Still cool.
Where you can purchase, sell, and modify ships.
Anything I can help you with?
Maybe you start off with a speedy fighter that's perfect for bounty hunting. Then you might round out your ship roster with a hulking space freighter to run cargo missions, or even do a little.
That's another thing I'm really curious about is the different types of missions and like, is this going to be like full space sim where it's like, I just want to haul cargo around? You can do that. You want to smuggle, you want to battle, you want to run capital ships. Can you run capital ships? Can you run a carrier?
A little smuggling. For now though, we're going to take our starting ship, the Frontier, and make some changes. You can customize and upgrade everything you see here. And you have two ways to do that. You can quickly upgrade individual systems like your weapons or shields, or you can deep dive and enter the shipbuilder mode. Here you can change anything from the systems to the look and layout. Adding a new habitat module can give you more room for crew. Adding cowling can change your ship's overall silhouette. An improved grav drive allows for longer distance space jumps. You can even fully customize your paint job to get the exact look you want. The parts you choose to build with don't just affect your ship's stats. They'll also affect what you can do inside your ship. You can have modules for crafting, or for storing and displaying your weapons. Starfield's in-game ship manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship. From living quarters to cargo holds, mess halls, and control rooms. Our modified Frontier is a practical ship, but with a little creativity, your ship can look like almost anything you want.
It's a bit odd, but what
Okay. You can tell I'm super excited about something because I'm just watching it. I'm not talking. I'm not going over anything. I don't give a shit. I got a big smile on my face. Ooh. Gosh. This is what gets me. I'm a space nerd and I know it. And I love spaceships. Like, it's one of my biggest fucking complaints about Borderlands. And there was another game. Yeah, I'm too excited right now. I can't think about it. Where they just don't play your ship enough. Like, your ship is it's a fundamental part of the games. Like Mass Effect, the connection to your ship is freaking amazing. And just not enough games. They put the ships in. Even Borderlands did a wonderful job modeling their ship, the thrusters. It's a gorgeous looking ship and it functions properly. But It's not even a character. It's not mentioned. It's not talked about at all. And it's such a hit. Oh, it's such a miss. And it could just be a guy thing with how we get attached to our cars and our motorcycles and our toys. Oh, yep. Just yep. I need to rewatch this. I actually want to like see what the fuck's even going
that's
on.
perfect for bounty hunting.
They look like they got like a little latch-on magnetic thing on the front. I wonder if you can actually board ships with that, or if it's just like a hold them in place, or if it's like I don't know what the thing on the front is, but it looks like it's got two pads for either bumping into something, or it looks like a giant electromagnetic to like suck yourself in and attach yourself to the ship with like a Tesla coil on top. Hauler. This looks amazing. It looks like it's set up for gas hauling, liquid hauling, some sort of not solid hauling, just because it's got cargo containers all over the back, which is cool, but it also has the big tanks on the
Roster
front.
with a hulking space freighter to run cargo missions, or even do a little smuggling. For now, though, we're going to take our starting ship, the Frontier,
I think they did a wonderful job with the Frontier. It looks really,
and
really
make some
good.
changes. You can customize and upgrade everything.
So we got cowling, shield generators, dockers, fuel tanks, grav drives, weapons. Looks like they only have 4 different types of weapons. You've got habitats, engines, cockpit, cargo hold, reactors, bays, and landing gear.
Everything you see here. And you have 2 ways to do that. You can quickly upgrade individual systems.
Oh, I wanted to see that menu.
And you have
buddy.
2 ways to
So
do
quick.
that. You can quickly.
You got dragon. I'm looking at the bottom right here. What we're staring at. Blah, 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 blah. Should set up my drawing thing and just draw over stuff. Pulse lasers, cannons, launchers, white dwarf engine, 10-second protector shield generator. That's interesting. Las base hull. Like, I know there's a lot of people that deep dive into every little thing on the screen here. And like, I don't do that even though I call these deep dives. I'm looking at system mechanics and gameplay. I guess technically this is a system mechanic, but like, I just want the game to not be a piece of shit. And so far, I'm not seeing a piece of shit, which is really, really good. The NPCs, yeah. It's solid. But like, I don't want to ruin anything for myself. I still want to figure it all out and get into things. Ideally, I would watch
systems.
nothing. Literally nothing. So these are weapons upgrades. Autocannons, lasers, launchers, missiles.
Like your weapons or shields. Or you
What
can
is from
deep
rarities
dive
and
and enter the
stuff?
shipbuilder mode. Here you can change anything from the system.
Demos, Companionway, Demos, Nova. So this only shows 2 manufacturers, the Nova and Demos,
To the
presumably.
look and layout. Adding a new habitat module can give you more room for crew. Adding cowling can change your
I wanted to look at exactly what cowling does, because
habitat
they say it
module
just
can give you
changes
more room for crew.
your silhouette.
Adding
But what else does it do?
cowling can
Just value and math. Structure and components are largely cosmetic and allow to modify your ship's shape, size, personality, and silhouette. So it's literally just we look cool. Like, I mean, I guess to be able to make ships look cool and not penalize you too much is good. I mean, the fact that they add mass
change
also
your
hurts a
ship's
little.
overall silhouette. An improved grav drive allows for longer distance space jumps. You can even fully customize your
I wonder if your grav drive has to be exposed because, like, you're fighting this shit. I mean, maybe grav drives aren't combustible. They don't matter at all. Easy to repair. I don't know, but like, where would I shoot this ship? If it's a combustible thing back there, the engines, it's all just super, super exposed.
your paint job to get the exact look you want.
I'm getting like the
Parts you choose
Redeemer
to build
vibes
with
for
don't
some
just
reason
affect
from
your ship's stats.
Star Citizen here.
They'll also affect what you can do inside your ship.
This stuff's
You
cool.
can have modules for crafting or for storing and displaying your weapons. Starfield's in-game ship manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship. From living quarters to cargo holds, mess halls, and control rooms.
Oh, people are gonna make ships that are so toxic to get around. And like, if this is how you have to walk around your ship, does it mean like kind of have to mix form and function? You want to have like an effective, useful ship? Otherwise, it takes like 6.5 hours to walk to your crafting room. Or can you fast travel around your ship? Ooh, I wonder what that little dome thing is right here. That looks cool and different. Little Tesla quills. I wonder if those are like shield things.
Our modified
I like the Nova cockpits. Those look sick.
Frontier is a practical ship, but with a little creativity, your ship can look like almost anything you want.
It's a bit odd, but one of my favorite ways of customizing ships is I make them look like animals. The HMS Platypus.
The cockpit with the 360 giant windows. People are gonna make the dumbest, most goofy, crazy ships, but they're also gonna make such sick ships. It's cool.
Where it had a giant tail to it.
Yep, that's what I expect.
We've done spiders. We've done mechs.
Yeah, fly that around. See how that goes in atmosphere. I don't even want to see what this thing looks like taking off. I mean, it's funny though. More power to you guys. You walk whatever he was. This is Voltron, I believe, the color scheme. But like, what the fuck?
So it's really
That's cool, though.
whatever your imagination is.
Oh, they're gonna show it taking off.
While you can build your home among the stars the way you want to, you're probably
That's
not
funny.
the only person who will call your ship home.
Ready to lift off when you are, Captain.
Engines ready.
The Frontier is fueled and ready, Captain.
Some of the members of Constellation can join you on your journey. These companions can serve on your crew, and they'll always be there when you travel.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
Each companion comes with their own valuable skills for your ships and outposts, as well as unique quest lines. Eventually, some friendships might blossom into romance.
I don't know that I've ever really loved anyone except you.
And if you're looking for a little extra help on your ship, you can always hire additional crew at spaceports.
Got any room on your ship for someone like me?
You'll also meet potential crew members out in the world.
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock.
Assign crew to your ship or outposts, and their unique skills will affect how they run.
Outposts. What? Again, I'm just watching it, not going over things. We're not going to talk about the robot taking off. It's its own world. What do we got looking at here? Cool control room. I like the control rooms. It's like office chairs. Suck to be in here in combat, but like good luck, have fun, bros. Like the fan. Got a fan over here. Pretty sick looking. Reusing the hoses, I see. Another fan over here. Fans are important. It's stuffy up in here. I don't know why you don't have working climate control and air filtration in a spaceship. It's fine though. Fine. Like little handles up on the ceiling. Lots of buttons. So many buttons. I mean, I couldn't be. I'd flick so many switches.
Lift off when you are, Captain.
Engines ready.
I wonder if you can name your ship. A little safe here. Well, it's interesting.
Ready.
Well, I talked about the entrances. Farther out view of the kitchen, little table here. This dude's just full attention. You go, cowboy.
Some of the members of Constellation can join you on your journey. These companions can serve on your crew, and they'll always be there when you travel.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
Each companion comes with their own valuable skills for your ships and outposts, as well as
I'm curious how this whole outpost thing is and what they operate. They just passively give you. They probably passively give you mats and other things, and have abilities when you show up to them, like refuel or discounts of things. That sure just looks. The statue looks okay. It can be made out of whatever. It can age however it wants. Yawn. Apologize. The stone. It's not the most high detail thing I've seen them do.
Lines. Eventually, some
It's one of those
friendships
dated
might
shots.
blossom into romance.
I don't know that I've ever really loved anyone except you.
And if you're looking for a little extra
Aw.
help on your ship, you can always hire additional crew at spaceports.
Got any room on your ship for someone like me?
You'll
Sure,
also
always
meet
a prep.
potential crew members out in the world.
That ship's just infinitely venting things into space. It is doing proper expanding. It doesn't look like there's any atmosphere here. So we don't have particles refalling.
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock.
Assign crew to
We got Healer, Barrett. Oh, those are their names. Heller. Why did I read that as Healer? I have a problem. It's a little bit of dyslexia probably kicking in. Unassigned, unassigned. Frontier, unassigned. Jameson Outpost 1. Presumably the highlighted things is what of theirs is getting used. Ship, outpost. All ship, current outposts, and outposts.
your ship or outposts, and their unique skills will affect how they run.
What are you trying to figure out on your little board there, my friend? Yeah, nothing interesting.
And just like companions,
Cool
most
bird.
crew members can lend a hand in the field. Take Bosco, for instance.
He's designed around the core basics of a NASA machine.
Please avoid getting shot. You might die.
I still wanted to give it almost a humanoid personality, so I elongated the limbs. This tends to make him feel more human-like and give him a little personality.
It is a shame exploration requires so much bloodshed.
I swear, the gun he's shooting sounds like something
Around
on
the
Fallout,
core basics of
identical.
a
I don't know the
NASA
weapon
machine.
type.
Please avoid getting shot.
It does look really
You
cool.
might
It's a really
die.
unique design, though.
I still wanted to give it almost a humanoid personality, so I elongated the
They did a
limbs.
very good job designing
This
this.
tends to make him feel more human-like and give him a little personality.
It is a shame exploration requires so much bloodshed.
Should spark when he gets shot, though.
Using the shipbuilding tools and crew selection features in Starfield, you'll be able to build and captain the ship of your dreams. And now, let's take to the sky.
Fire up sequence was
Now,
gorgeous.
let's take to the sky.
The little fucking igniters, you do not see that like ever in a game. They'll do cool startups, but to see the igniters is those little sparky things when that fuel starts to come out will spark it off and ignite. And that's where it all falls to shit. Is after the ignition is just, there's not enough violence in the takeoff. Like right here should have like just straight plumes. All of it should be funneled outwards. You should be like almost not able to even see the ground. Like you even add a little camera shake or something in there just for violence. So cool though. And if they just made the front few thrusters go like hyper hard, just like double the size of their plume and kind of fade out the back ones a little bit in the transition to vertical, fix most of the problems making this look wrong. Spaceflight there felt good. Like the
We're putting you
transition
in
to
the
coming
cockpit
around.
of your very own spaceship.
It felt like it had
Telling
some
you
weight
that
to
you
it.
can do pretty much anything, and that is really cool for us as developers. Spaceflight should be exciting and dangerous, and you should feel like you're in complete control every step of the way.
I want VR. All the active switches.
We've extended that sense of control to ship combat. It's not about just hitting your triggers to fire your weapons. It's a complex dance between your piloting skills and our power allocation system.
I already talked about this a little. This is just a sci-fi trope that I don't understand. Unless it is based on reality, because I'm also not a NASA engineer, but like, NASA doesn't make you choose between life support and your engines, or your engines and like maneuver. Like, you just have a power and you just run the shit. And especially if you're going to primarily use combustible fuels, is what it seems like here based on what we're looking at here for engine types. It's not ions. It's not like matter propulsion. It's not an energy based or like an electrical based propulsion system. So why do I have to lower my power settings to run a fuel based or a solid based engine? Like that just, it doesn't match up. It's weird to me. I don't know how they're going to explain it in game if they're ever going to. And it's not gravity engine shields.
Boosting power to your engines will make your ship faster. Powering up the grav drives will shorten the amount of time it takes before you can make a jump. And moving your power to your weapons and shields means you're ready for a fight.
It's just, it's this clunky, weird. No, it just doesn't feel great in games where you have to, I don't know. And I hope there's an automated way to do it or something where you can set presets. Like if I hit F1, it'll go to my weapon presets. I want this. This is my combat preset. If I hit F2, it'll go to this. That's my exploration preset. If I hit F3, it'll go to the warp drive preset. Because like in an actual combats, there's so much going on. Like, it's fine. It is what it is, but you would want those quick swaps. And it just gets tedious. I accidentally spaced. It gets tedious even in game if you're just constantly swapping. And you usually end up in just like this, it's good enough power scheme where you just fucking leave it. Or you just leave all engines and you just deal with it unless you're in a shitty super emergent situation. It's just like 100 hours in, you're like, okay, I'm sick of every single time I do anything having to flip all these buttons. Let me know in the comments. Is that how you feel? Also, ultra super secret call out. An hour and 46 minutes into this video. If you are still here and you haven't commented and liked, you don't even have to subscribe. Do that by your will. I don't need to blow up your phone notification all the time. But if you haven't liked and commented in this video, an hour and 47 minutes into it, why are you here? You clearly like it. Help the algorithm, bros. I don't know why I just said bros. That's a weird ass way to pro things. All right, let's see your call out. Let me know if you made it this far. It means a lot to me. Love seeing who makes it this far.
Weapons and shields means you're ready for a fight.
So is he like D-pad? So this guy warps into a system. Like, let's just imagine this trope. You warp into a system. I don't know, it's here. Let's prepare. I'm going to hit left, up, 3, left, up 1, left, up 2, left, up 3, left, up 6. It's just every time. Oh, there's no enemies here. Let me. Now I'm ready for exploration. And it's like, terrible. Never mind if it's like, oh shit, enemies are here. And then you have joystick, because we're pretending we're on console here. This is what it is. And it's probably like freaking arrow keys on a keyboard, which is so toxic. I have my Stream Deck even over my arrow keys, because why would you make us use them? But okay, enemy comes up behind a wreck. Oh crap. Evasive maneuvers, right joystick, left joystick. Then I also have to like pop a third arm out of my belly button. Left, over, down, up, down, left, up. That scares me. And it is the D-pad. You can see the D-pad right here. No one wants to use their D-pad that much. Tell me you're a console gamer and you're like, oh, D-pad mechanics. Love them. This could be problematic if there's not pre-saves in it, because you're just going to end up setting it to something and it's going to be like mediocre across the board and you're just going to fucking leave it.
You should always be on your toes because you're not alone out there.
So say right here in your exploration setting. Oh shit, they warped in. That's cool. Let's get into a fight. I wonder what they look like. I wonder what they want. That's, oh, hold on. Pause all that. Cool, creative thoughts. Where's my power at? Left, up, down, left, right, up. Nah, I think I only want 2 over, right, down, 2, up. Oh crap, I'm being shot. Doesn't feel good. I hope this presets. I'm gonna watch this one a few times because I'm super interested about this.
Unlocking the targeting control system skill will allow you to zero in on specific subsystems of the ship you target.
Hey, it's bats.
After destroying an enemy ship, you can loot the remains from your cockpit. You can always turn any ship that engages you into scrap. But you can also take a more personal approach by docking with the enemy vessel and boarding their ship.
Ha! So I was curious if you could do this. Preferred method. Don't just...
Once you've taken control of an enemy ship,
oh, there we
it's
go.
yours. Add it to your fleet and retrieve it at any spaceport.
Huh.
But space is way more than fighting for your life.
Well, I just wanted to see how that all played out. Okay. I want to get some physics feels here. I already talked enough about the D-pad thing being terrible. That warping effect. See? Oh, is that a mosquito? You see, though, that freaking shockwave that emanates out from that ship? Why is there none of that crap on planets? Atmospheric shockwaves would actually cause that. I understand this is space-time warping and shifting light, so that's fine. But like, you clearly have effects like that. You know what they kind of look like and could look like. The fucking amazing godlike visual, just jaw-dropping effect of explosions and the initial of your engines igniting and the shockwave coming out from your ship. Oh, it'd be sick. And the heat trails when it goes up. Come on, modders. I know you want to do it. You do it in other games. I know you want to do it here. Day one mods. Make my PC explode. Make me be like, damn it, why don't I have 6 480 Ti's in my PC? Please. Holy crap. I'm watching space. So they're engaging us. Is there any visualization that they're hitting us? It's tiny camera shake. IS is good enough. I mean, they could do more camera shake, but camera shake's like some people like it, some people hate it. So I'm curious how they're combating the... Like No Man's Sky, like it's just a space combat game of where you end up orbiting each other in this weird, stupid rotation thing. Then like you also end up in the whole, you could theoretically just 360 your ship and keep going backwards at full speed and shoot things and all these psycho maneuvers. And I'm curious how they make it feel more dogfighty without also feeling like you're just flying around an atmosphere. Hopefully there's some weight to the ships. So I'm trying to get a feel for it here. They don't have any... I see no identifications of maneuvering thrusters or any sort of top thrusters that would help rotate your ship this way in reality here. I know on the bottom there's all those thrusters from taking off and landing, but if they also had those on top, it would make some of these maneuvers even possible. I see a tiny little fizz here from something, but there's like nothing up here. There's nothing, like the forces it takes to maneuver a ship like this in space.
Unlocking.
I get that they have to make it feel good. It has to be arcadey and it is what it is. But I wish these ships had a little bit more drift to them. Like when you come around that corner, like the rear end kicks out just a tiny bit. Then like extra thrusters kick on to counteract that balance and things like that. I just think it would look really cool, even if it doesn't screw with your aim at all or anything, because the ship can just be a totally separate object from your aimer, and the guns could track the same. It would just feel more weighty. I think that would be great.
The targeting control system skill will allow you to zero in on specific subsystems of the ship you target.
But like the ship is just full burn rear engines on both sides. Somehow it's rotating like this. It has no thrusters firing that would do that. It's just grav drive. It just doesn't... That made no sense. It's just like magically spinning on a top. And it's like, even if they just changed the brightness and amount of thruster on each side, even a little, you'd be like, okay, just keep you connected, keep you grounded to the universe, and it'd be fine. But they don't. And it's just
After
a little
destroying
weird.
an enemy ship, you can loot the remains from your cockpit. You can always turn any ship that engages you into scrap.
I like the voices, the ship guns. I'm a big fan of like deafeningly loud, just thumpy, boomy, holy I'm in combat. Because holy you're in combat. Like, you're fighting for your life in giant hunks of metal flying through space, propelled by rockets. It should be like a, not just like a, man, this is like a casual fun time. Like, I love the expanse, the freaking rounds flying through the cockpit, little debris flying around. I feel like if your ship is damaged, there should be like small little holes so you can see like air leaking out, or they're covered over and there's like broken things laying on this ship and you can see where holes are patched and things like that. Would look sick.
But you can also take a more personal approach by docking with the enemy vessel and boarding their ship.
I'm not saying the space combat looks atrocious. It looks good. Probably some of the best of better I've seen in games. It doesn't look bad at all. It's just like, it takes me away of like magic ship flying. Like, how is it happening? Like, makes sense. I also think you should be able to breach walls, windows here, and suck people out. That'd be sick. Unless they're all walking zero atmosphere in their ships, which is why they all have spacesuits on. But
Once you've taken control of an enemy ship, it's yours. Add it to your fleet and
I'm curious about this add it to your fleet thing, and I'm also curious. I was about to say, how are they going to balance stealing ships for money? Because ships are so valuable. But it's probably like the registered and the unregistered. It's probably a huge fee to actually make it like your ship, and like something you can actually use. And you could probably scrap it, which makes it not worth that much money and that kind of stuff.
retrieve it at any spaceport.
I hope it's still a really good way to make money, because I
But
want
space
to
is way
steal all
more
the
than fighting
ships.
for your life.
Ships look so cool.
Just like when you're planetside, there are plenty of sights to see and stops to make on the way to your next adventure. Like these massive star yards. Walk the halls, talk to the crew, maybe get talked into buying a whole new ship.
A civilian in my star yard. Let's see about getting you a proper ship, one worthy of you.
Maybe you'll dock with a gigantic battleship, like the UC Vigilance.
Can I have one? Can I have fighters? Other pets?
Or rub elbows with the galaxy's wealthy elite on a cruise ship fit for the stars.
It's really,
there are plenty
cool.
of personal encounters to be had as well. You can hail any ship you come across to trade, swap info, or maybe even commit an act of piracy.
Oh shit.
When I'm playing, I generally go crazy. I definitely go like the more piracy routes.
Damn, girl. You're making your platypus go crazy.
I want to take over ships.
That's
I'm going
sick.
to board ships. I'm like, this is now mine. I steal all the sandwiches and put them, in my cargo hold that I have specifically for sandwiches. I don't want to play the hero, but I want to go out and just start taking things from people
awesome.
as quickly as possible.
Some strangers might be looking for a
I usually play a
human
paladin.
connection in the darkness of space.
Well, I say paladin. I think more Justicar from Mass Effect, where you do bad, dead to me. But you do good, I'll kill anyone that does bad to you.
Hello, stranger. Things from people as quickly as possible.
Some strangers might be looking for a
I love the
human
sandwich
connection
only thing.
in the
That's really
darkness of
cool.
Space.
Hello, stranger. I just finished cooking up some food. If you want to come on over, just pop on by.
Some of the best moments are the ones you discover on your own. The thing I love most about Starfield is that it is a Bethesda game through and through. It's
Don't say that. Don't say it's a Bethesda game. Say it's an old Bethesda game through and through. Do not tell me this is Fallout 76 through and through. I'm gagging over here. Oh, that's fine. I'm excited. I'm genuinely the amount of encounters. I hope there's like 100,000s, just infinite amount. That'd be so sick. I hope someone mods in like a next generation chat GP to just fabricate fucking encounters of randomness. Oh, that's so cool. You can just dock to other people's ships, go walk through them, go explore them, see what the AIs have created, interact with people, get missions. I don't know. It all seems fun. Exploration. I love it. I truly do. I spend so much time in open world games, like dangerous amounts, just wandering. And it's like, welcome to the starter zone. Giant map. Here's your first quest. Would you like to walk to your first quest, or would you like to explore the entire thing first and then go to your first quest when you're like 16 levels ahead of it? You one-shot everything, you looted everything, and the NPC's like, I need my mother's favorite necklace. And you're like, oh, this thing, here you go. I already got that. Oh, you need 16 pieces of candy? Here you go. I got those over there. Oh, the one and only legendary chest of hope from Magnificent Lord Alpha. There you go. I got that too. I already did that one. Everyone's like, what? That's how I play games. Over leveled all the time. Way too much exploration. Never do the main story quest till it's like the last thing left because I'm terrified of it just making it so I can't go back and do something. Game could kill me.
About going to strange new places.
Also, 2-hour mark.
Meeting interesting people and getting sidetracked.
I didn't think it would be this
zany
long.
Adventures. Then realizing 2 hours later that you're involved in a completely new story.
You're
That's cool.
human. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
That DNA is so present here. It's in our random encounters, it's in our handcrafted quests.
Why would they spoil that? You clearly find a group of explorers that left Earth a long time ago and they thought they were the only ones that left. But nope. Thanks for spoiling.
Human. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
That DNA is so present here. It's in our random encounters, it's in our handcrafted quests. And it feels so cool to play it and just make your own path in this universe.
That makes
There
me
are
smile.
over 1,000 planets out there, just waiting for you to visit. We want you to feel like explorers.
So it looks like
Breaking
crap.
ground on new planets,
The landing.
exploring every inch of a mostly untouched galaxy.
The slow walk on every planet. Why? Why are you only showing slow walks? That's concerning. It's weird. Do you not like how your character moves while running over this jagged ass terrain? Is it janky? Is it jacked? Is it jank? Like, they have barely showed. They've showed fast movement on platforms that were smooth, but not on any of this terrain. And I don't know why.
Exploring
We're 29 minutes into
every
this.
inch of a mostly untouched galaxy.
And all we've seen is slow walk on
We want you to
planets.
feel hopeful. We want you to feel this sense of awe and wonder. And sometimes a little fear. We're giving you a massive playground.
damn.
Hopeful. We want you to feel this sense of awe and wonder. And
Also,
sometimes
I'm just going to throw this out there. One of my favorite things about space combat, naval combat, ground combat is point defense systems. I think point defense systems add a layer of just awe-inspiring, oh my god, this is real. Real shit is going down. Like active defenses on a large spaceship are the coolest things ever. Like the opening scenes in Star Trek where the fucking launches all the missiles at them out of the big ship and then freaking all the little guns pop out of the Enterprise and just like trying desperately to shoot down all the little missiles. It's life or death. This ain't no fucking joke. Like You should have like sea whizzes, point defense lasers, one of the missiles coming out. They don't even have to work. I don't care if they're literally for show, or even better, make ships launch 4 missiles and only one gets through instead of only launching 1 missile. Make it so those sea whizzes or whatever, infinite ammo, doesn't matter. You can select where they go on your ship. They're just point defenses, but having those things automatically just shred off your shrimp, figure that one out. Like shredding things and just spewing out of your ship while you're like dancing like the Rosinante in freaking The Expanse. It's so cool. It's just like, oh, and like, I don't even think it's that hard to do. It could just be purely for show. It could be total bullshit, where all your numbers are exactly the same, all the missile launches are exactly the same, everything's the same, but you just have these ambient effects going on around them, where your ship shot down like 5 of the missiles and 1 got through, even though it was only ever meant to have 1 get through every time anyways. It looks so cool. Even with someone shooting projectiles at you, you can see wisdom and stuff and just... That is so sick to me. And I don't know why it's not in more space games. It should be. Because like, we've got them all over our naval ships. We've got them all over our military bases. You look at freaking Ukraine and stuff. Rockets coming in, sea whizzes going nuts, freaking Patriot defense missile systems flying up. You just don't see that in games. It's like, oh, we got shields and armor, just passive defenses. Like, this is your life. Unless everyone in here is immortal or your clones, you would have companies developing active defense systems. I just, they're so cool, and it's missing from these combats. Like when there's like the 7 ships around him all launching things, wouldn't it be so freaking sick to just see a bunch of sea whizzes blaring off in every direction, or like small little lasers flying out trying to hit these missiles, just add chaos to your screen.
A little fear.
Like the sparks coming off here look gorgeous. The tracer rounds coming in look gorgeous. I think there should just be more little bits flying off your ship, which would also be freaking gorgeous. But just mix in a few sea whizzes, even if they don't do anything, especially when things get close enough to you.
And a ton of toys, and just setting you free.
That's one of the criticism of the combat. Like, you don't feel like your weapons have punch. They're not shaking your ship at all. The sound isn't there very well. The lighting effects, it's not strobing enough in here for what the hell is going past your cockpit. The impacts on the enemy ship, I don't think are violent enough. There should be bits flying off of them. With the size of these projectile looks like, unless they're tiny little projectiles, but even that, you should show like exits on the other side. Like maybe there's not even debris coming off this side, because that wouldn't be realistic either if you're shooting like railguns or bullets or penetration or anything. There'd be little sparks which they have, but then I like some debris flying out the other side, exit wounds, just little things to make it feel better. There's no punch in the combat. Like, I don't know how to put it other than it's not visceral.
Hey everybody, we were showing you so much stuff, but we thought we'd just take a little break and show you something a little bit different. You know, we put so much detail into our game worlds, and we love the opportunity to bring that into the real world with our collector's editions. And for this game, we've done a watch. It is the Constellation Explorer's Watch. This is the watch that you actually get in the game that acts as part of your HUD, where it's the compass and then environmental information. It connects to your phone to give you notifications and other information, and we've also designed this really cool case that it comes with, Istvan.
Yeah, we really took as much care in design.
I mean, it's like cool in its own way. I like watches, but I like really skinny, thin watches. It's kind of my thing. Why? I mean, so this is my thought process. One, spaceships are freaking amazing. Collectibles of them are literally people's trophy items. They put center stage of like the Enterprise, Mass Effect ships, Babylon 5, just you name it. Star Wars, just huge collector pieces of just magnificence. I get that you can customize your ship in infinite ways, so it's almost damn near impossible to make that the collector's edition. I would prefer a starter ship like model. Like I have bought in collector's editions before because of the statues and things they come with. This case is cool, but I don't know if I would want to spend that much money on a watch. Like it's just not like a centerpiece. It's nothing like that, I guess. It's just, yeah.
In this case, as we did to watch, our attention to detail in the game totally translates to this. Inspired by the cases that the astronauts used during the Apollo era to bring back samples from the moon. It's got an intricate locking mechanism, authentic, heavy, comes with a Constellation patch, NATO strap, and the overall functionality and believability of this as something that would exist in the world, in the Starfield universe.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out.
Like I said, it's cool. Like a centerpiece of a collection, something to be proud of is like I have a watch. I just wouldn't look at that on my shelf and be like, that's cool. I like that. I get that it's a standard piece of gear. It's a standard equipment that's not customizable, so it's easy to do because the armor, the characters, the ship, everything else is something you build yourself. And I guess I could see why they did it because it's on your screen all the time. It's part of your character through everything. And there's probably very few things in the entire game that are always with you. And it would have the broadest market. It's just still, I was like, I mean, I'm broke, but like I'd find the way to splurge if it was a cool ass collector's edition for this game. It's terrible because Bethesda, you've done us dirty too many times. I don't trust you worth the shit anymore. I want to, but I don't. The only reason I'm still giving this game any fucking credit is what I've seen, and Microsoft says it's good. And Microsoft does good with their games. I'm a Microsoft fanboy from gaming as a child. Like Monster Truck Madness, Midtown Madness, all the old Microsoft games. Huge fan. But like,
And it even tells the time.
We actually have something else. Now that we're part of Xbox, we get to work with the amazing people on the Xbox hardware team, and together we have created this custom limited edition Starfield controller. It's awesome. It is now, our favorite controller.
We love this because it's inspired by the actual controls of your spaceship. And not only that, we've created the first ever custom headset with Xbox. And this is a perfect pairing with that controller.
I mean, those are better. Given I'm a PC player, and there's no way I'm trading whatever those headphones are probably for my Sennheisers. This game better have good PC controls for the love of everything holy. I have to pause for a moment and oh, please, there's so many games, there's shitty PC ports. Please. Please, 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 please. Be a good PC port with controls. Please do not make me sit at my desk and use an Xbox controller.
Steady until ready. Coordinates input. Plotting jump course.
It's a cool controller though. When I was a console player, I would have bought it. I grew up being one. I'm old. Forgot how to breathe. Well, getting old. Sometimes you just forget how to breathe. I want to know more about headphones. Like, what company are they? What brand? Are they open back, noise canceling? What frequencies do they run at? What is their dB ratio? What is their frequency range? Anything. Oh, forgot how to breathe.
In every one of our games, we always put so much care into all those little
I'm making faces because I remember Fallout 76's launch. And I'm like, every game, check your freaking words, bro. Do not lump yourself with your shitty games. You have made shitty games. And you have re-released like one amazing game 1,600 times. Check yourself, Bethesda.
Details that breathe life into our worlds.
You have, and you
Starfield
used
isn't
to.
just a Bethesda Game Studios world, it's a Bethesda Game Studios galaxy. So why go this big with Starfield? Because we want to give you freedom on a galactic level. The freedom to experience both the exciting planets and the quiet ones.
Little shockwaves would make that amazing.
Scanning a planet before you land is a great way to get a sneak peek at the available resources you can use for crafting, building, and customizing.
I think what's cool about this whole system that we generate the planet itself as a procedural content, but the handcrafted content itself comes as the player explore. Our system builds a planet as the player approaches it. We stitch together a block of terrain. After that, we have the system.
Does that mean my planets will be different from your planets? And if that's the case, content creation would be a freaking nightmare. And going on a journey with someone?
Adds interesting locations for the player to explore, creatures to encounter, ore and plants to pick up. It allows us to add that touch of environmental
He's
storytelling.
moving. He moved quickly across the planet and it wasn't too terrible.
Creatures to encounter, ore and
the landing on that jetpack just feels
creatures to encounter, ore and plants to pick
very
up.
slidey, not very weighty.
It allows us to add that touch of environmental storytelling that Bethesda is known for.
It's cool.
Aggressive creatures have been disrupting our...
Show me walking on rocks. Show me trying to climb up a cliff. Show me some things that have historically been so jank in your games. That's what I want to see. Let me see you fix something.
If you could take care of them for us, we would be in your debt.
So even if your friends were to visit the same planet that you had, you would have a different story to tell.
So that's a thing. Different planets for every player. So what does that do? Let's look at No Man's Sky, for example. Once a planet's generated, as far as I know, it's the same for everyone. Maybe not down to the fine details, but all of the static objects are the same. So No Man's Sky, you find a whole universe, multiple universes actually. Spoiler alert. If you find a cool ship crashed on a planet, like a really cool looking ship, you can go online and you can be like, this is the universe, this is the star, this is the planet, this is the coordinates on said planet, and anyone can then go to that planet and find that ship. You can share your experiences. It's kind of breaking at the same time, so it's like not once you take the ship, it shouldn't be there for everyone else. But like, it allows that community to form. It allows people to share experiences and not just share them like, oh, I found this and did this. It's, I found this, did this. It's so cool. You should go do it. And then you can both be like, oh my God, that was so cool. And then the third person will be like, I want to do that too. And it builds the camaraderie, the community. And it's cool. It's important to game successes. This isn't the end all be all, but it's not great for content creators, which is a personal aspect to me. And I guess a lot of people hate content creators, but it's fine. But like a lot of other games that do seeds, you can share your seed. Like Adam versus Everything in RimWorld. He's like, this is where I set up this playthrough. This is the seed I use. This is the tile number. So you can play that too if you want to. Like, this will make playthroughs unique. Each playthrough feeling different, which is great. But you won't be able to share the same experience as someone else. There's also a loss in its own way. It is cool that you'll be able to be like, oh, well, that planet did this to me. But it will put this disconnect. It won't be like someone won't hop into stream and be like, oh, yeah, you just finished that. That was so cool when I did it. It'll be like, oh, you had that? I don't know what that is. I didn't do it. Cool. I mean, it's just irrelevant, I guess. This doesn't involve me. But it's like, it'll make it more interesting to watch a streamer or a playthrough because of that. Because it's like, oh, what are they going to find different than I find? I don't know. That's a mixed bag for me. It depends where you lay in that spectrum. I think it kind of sucks a little to me that you won't be able to share things unless you can do like a seed. Share a seed. I don't know how that would work. But that's just my thoughts on that. I like it, hate it at the same time. It'll make guides very, very difficult for anything outside of structured things like builds and or story quests. But it'll be interesting. See how people tell stories with it and play into it. Yeah, look at him, he's running across the planet. So, another question to everyone. Does this bother you? That you walk up to a door, hit a button, and the door handle moves and you still got both hands on this? Is it all Wi-Fi? Is it all remote connected? Why put the handle there then? Why make the handle move? If that's how it's going to be. Why didn't he reach out and open that door? Is that too hard to do for an animation? And then re-hit your hand on the thing? Is it too hard to make an animation of you, or just unhinge the door, then let physics do it, where you push it the rest so you can actually properly clear and slowly open when you scan, things like that nature? Why the magic door open? Why the magic doors open? I know doors are hard, and like that's a genuine thing. Doors are very hard in video games. But like it's AAA. AAA magic doors. You know what would be an interesting thing to do? In a futuristic sci-fi game like this with robots and all this other crazy stuff, wouldn't it be cool if you had a little arm that opened doors for you so you could keep both hands ready on your weapon for anything that happens, and just like this tiny little skinny thing comes out from like your waist or belt or somewhere on your chest and just basically uses your brain or some input somewhere like a button on your thing, and it knows how to open the door, and it comes out and opens the door handle for you and pushes it while you walk through and then retracts back into you. I think that'd be an interesting mechanic for opening doors. Though it'd still allow you to stay combat ready. I don't even know if that's the right terminology. I don't... Shit gun sounds. Cool death animations. The shotgun sounds aren't the worst, but like they have no weight. Especially that jump shot. Like the one here, it does jerk down decent enough. It goes back up. There's some recoil, but this jump shot, it just like because he was in a different animation of landing with the gun floating a little, it just muzzle flashed. There was no recoil, no down, no jerk back. It didn't screw up his flight path a little, because I mean, like if you're in a low gravity situation with a jetpack hovering in the air and you fire a shotgun, you're gonna rotate a little. It just is what it is. This pistol feels like it's got weight with that recoil. It's a terrible looking recoil, but like the sound doesn't match it.
It's completely up to you how you want to interact with each planet. Whether you want to explore and see what you can find, harvest resources and be on your way, or simply take in the views. With the help of your
So many
scanner, you'll
screenshots
chart
on
the
Instagram
uncharted and discover exotic
and
wildlife.
Twitter and Facebook.
If you have the skills, you can even figure out that certain creatures and plants, you can build an outpost and produce resources from those plants and animals. You can get experience and rewards for fully surveying planets and fully surveying a whole system.
No Man's Sky, anybody? It's a good mechanic. I get it. It's really good for explorers. I've never been 100%er, even though I'm a super explorer, so it's like whatever. It's a cool way to play the game. It's a cool thing for people to do. It's a great avenue. It's a different avenue that a lot of people probably never take. It's great that they put the time to do it. But also just screams No Man's Sky. It looks exactly the same. But like, how else would you do that system?
When we were concepting
That's
these
big eyes. That's cool. It's like a fly on steroids without wings meets crab
When we were concepting these creatures, we really wanted to think of them as natural to the environment. We didn't want alien monsters. We wanted native wildlife. Something you've never seen before.
Well, you succeeded because they're cool.
When it comes to our exteriors, when the sun moves, all that light is calculated in real time through the atmosphere. Our biggest goal for lighting with Starfield was to make the game feel more filmic, to use lighting and color to really make it feel more cinematic.
And you did. It's freaking gorgeous. But you did such a good job. Such a good job at that. The lighting, the shadows. You did such a good job with your building textures, such a good job with your materials textures. All of it. Fantastic. That whoever is in charge of making your NPCs didn't keep up, and the game looks freaking weird because you have a bunch of dolls walking around and it looks out of place. You did too good. And you didn't do good enough in all your departments. You just did too good in some. It is what it is. Because when there aren't all those NPCs, I bet the game's going to be gorgeous. But I think that's really why they stand out. It's like in contrast. Like if you took one of those doll-looking, flat-skinned NPCs and threw it next to this creature right here in this forest, you'd be like, someone superimposed that from a different game, right? They took that out of a 2015 game, and that's a joke, right? You're gorgeous. Ooh, caves. Caves! Yes, please. I love spelunking. What was that? Is that an alien ruin? Is that a wreck? Is that ancient structures? I love that shit. That looks so cool. I don't know what it is, but I want to know what it is. Damn, that's pretty. I haven't seen a giant forest world, though. I get that rendering that many trees is damn near impossible, but as someone who lives in a forest, yeah, just saying. True forests. Like hard to move through forests. Seen some Vietnam games try that, and the people didn't like it because you couldn't see more than 3 feet in front of your face. But like, yeah. That's sick. They are mastering the slow walk, though. Have they showed any third person running? Just first person, right? Show me rock transitions. Show me moving over rocks. Show me doing the Bethesda slide.
After some exploring, you can find a spot to set up a base camp. Outposts can be built almost anywhere on any planet.
Hey, Fallout style building, hell yeah.
Modules come in all shapes and sizes, filling all different purposes. You can even live in them.
We're gonna do some episodes of Cribs. Damn right.
Assign crew and companions to work at your outposts for added bonuses. And
I'm so torn because it's like, I think this makes me a bad person, but like, I love my wife to death. I'm gonna love my firstborn daughter infinitely. Like, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. But also, like, why does she have to come the day this game comes out? It hurts. That hurts. That hurts the soul. Hey, Bethesda, can I get like 2 months early access or something? That'd be great. Thanks. It's like video game addiction meets firstborn daughter is what's gonna happen, and that's gonna be a fun time. I'm excited for both. Like that's what's running through my brain. So I'm talking about it. I'm just thinking, I'm sitting here so excited, but then like I need to bring myself down a little because like also I'm gonna have a brand new infant, freshly squeezed. Like the hardest parts of relationships, adults, people say.
Set up extractors to harvest resources
awesome.
while you're away.
Base building is gonna be so much fun. Also,
this time is we have a new fly cam, where you can toggle between on-foot building, or you can now use a top-down isometric camera, which helps plan out.
Bethesda. This right here, fantastic. Building outposts in Fallout was so frustrating. This is amazing. So in person, on foot, super tiny little details, minute corrections, great. But this you need this. You need to zoom out, a big scale.
Larger parts of the outpost and placing those larger halves, so that way you can really plan your structures and what the overall feel of your outpost is. And then when you're on your feet, you can really decorate and fine-tune things much easier.
That is so cool. Little ship. I hope every object can be placed just like in other ones. That's really cool.
Much easier.
People are gonna go nuts with this. I'm fidgeting now. I got toenail clippers in my head and I'm just fidgeting, and I'm sure you guys can hear all the clicks.
Add crafting and research stations in your outpost to utilize any resources you find or already have.
Mod your weapons to adapt them to your playstyle. Different weapon sights and scope.
I gotta go back and check out this dude's eyes. Like,
in your outpost to utilize
his eyes insanely blue.
Add
am I making it
crafting
up?
and research stations in your outpost to utilize any resources you find or already have.
It's a cool mechanic. He's got nice blue eyes. It's color mine like used to be before they went gray.
To adapt them to your playstyle. Different weapon sights and scopes. Larger magazines. A selection of grips and barrels. Different ammunition like explosive rounds.
Cool. Actually, freaking amazing. Absolutely love it. Explosive rounds, the effects of them, the like I said, the effects of them. Why isn't
all
my...
your stealth?
What?
Of rounds.
Like that's cool. However, no little shockwaves. And the sound. Not only do you have an explosion in your gun projecting this thing out, which is deafeningly loud in real life, you now have explosions on target. Was it like 15 feet in front of you? A little more smoke. Keep all the particle effects. And little just shockwaves rippling out from it. It's so cool. Like take that grav effect, change it a little to be more of a compressed wave. Just rock it. It'd be sick. Then take whatever sounds you have, crumple them up in a ball, throw them out, record some real freaking explosions, tone them down to the point where they don't actually pop everyone's speakers out, and then have them hurt your ears just a little bit, then put a checkbox in the options that go, do you want to scream like a little bitch when things go off around you, or do you want to play this like a normal casual game? And then just dumb the bass down, tune down sounds if you got the I want normal game, and then have the one where it's like, oh, we're in combat sound effects over here, like a squad or something like that. That's where you should be taking your sound effects from. That would be great. But I've talked about it a lot. The sound effects for guns and combat in this game kill it completely for me. So lackluster.
All you stealth players out there will surely need a suppressor.
Hey, that suppressor sounds as loud as the non-suppressed weapon. Isn't that weird?
You can also choose to go hands-on with melee weapons.
A knife.
I
Axe.
think it's always a delicate balance between like what's realistic, what's sim, and what's Hollywood. And I think we sort of err on the side of like what's fun for the player.
I'm okay with that. I'm not asking for realistic weapons. I'm asking for a lot of realistic things, but like I don't care, but just make it feel good. Hollywood is fun. They over the top. Sound design Hollywood's not fucking great either. So take the realistic sounds, realistic bullet explosion effects, take there's like something living on a shelf outside, bumping everything I have on that shelf, and it creeps me out when it happens. I don't know what it is. It's happened for years, can't figure it out. I don't know. Combat just doesn't feel visceral enough. It just seems, I don't even know. It feels bad. That explosion looked good. Did you see that flash? Still missing the shockwave, but the size of it and the flash, the visceral was like, whoa! Like that actually takes you back. You're like, what the? That stands out to me as amazing. Why aren't there more of those? Why don't you have that effect when I shoot something with high explosive rounds? Like the latest 40K game where you was it Dark Tide? You took a freaking bolter in that game, which is giant rounds that explode, and you shot something with it. You were like, oh shit. That's what it should feel like with explosive rounds every time.
With Starfield, we've completely...
Like,
And
just
what's Hollywood?
compare
And I
this
think we sort of
shotgun
err on
kill
the side of like what's fun for the
to the
player.
grenade kill. Ah, it's the tanks blowing up that make that cool explosion. It's not even the grenade.
What's fun for the player?
It's like lame shotgun effects. Huge explosion.
With Starfield, we've completely overhauled our combat. It's more dynamic, the animations are more fluid.
Yeah, the animations look good. I'm not even gonna argue it. A little bit more recoil, but like the people getting hit, the bullet hits aren't terrible, but like you need explosions. You need good sounds.
It just feels great.
Your sound design is lacking.
We probably have more mods and more weapons in this game than I want to say any other game we've done before.
There's a giant fly buzzing around. Someone's gonna make a sound mod for this game that'll just amp this up 100. I hope they support modding that easily. Be fantastic. Someone's gonna make a particle effects mod for this game, which will make it perfect. There's a fly crawling on my mic. Can you guys even hear that? He's going on the mic. Can I help you, buddy? I don't think I have anything I can actually spray this guy with. 1 second, I'm gonna deal with the fly. Well, I was gonna spray him, and then he fucked up. He went from the mic to my nose. He landed on my nose. Grabbed him. He dead. Dead fly. By the way, I digress. We're 2 hours and 38 minutes into this video, and I'm talking about flies and ranting. I have a little chemical sticker on that package. I could rant for 5 hours. It's been the same thing, like 3 complaints: explosions, NPCs, guns. 2.5 hours of that.
There's a lot of variety.
Ooh, that shotgun though.
I want to say any other game
That
we've
felt
done
good.
before. There's a lot of variety
Sounded
in
good.
this game.
Like, why aren't there like bass like that for anything else?
There's a lot of variety.
I'm not a fan of how much of the screen it takes up, but like, the guns
Upgraded
look
gear
sick.
is just one of the many factors to pay attention to when engaging in combat. You may need to switch things up based on your environment. Gravity is different for each planet, and boost packs are excellent for getting around. And for giving you an edge in combat. Sometimes you'll even feel like you're flying.
Lackluster explosions.
Zero gravity environments pose a different challenge.
I'm curious how
Firing a
movement in
ballistic
Zero G
weapon in
works.
Zero G will actually push you backwards.
Good.
Energy weapons, on the other hand, offer a more stable shooting experience.
We also have mag weapons.
These are high-powered electromagnetic induction ballistic arrays. Each barrel has its own targeting laser and can dish out some serious damage.
The multiple targeting
Whether
lasers
you wanna
doesn't
get
make
up
any
close and
sense.
personal with your own
That's
two
fine.
fists, or you like more compact weapons like pistols and submachine guns, or maybe you prefer something bigger.
Hell yeah. That's a tiny
Starfield's got
minigun.
you covered.
That is not bigger. I mean, the guns look sick. The animations look sick. I just repeat myself. The hit animation's sick. The sound. Your sound sucks. Fix your sound. Laser sounds or whatever, they're fine. But we know what guns sound like. That one doesn't sound terrible. A little more bass to it, be sick. A little louder. That sounds like I'm shooting like a freaking low pressure air pistol at people. That one's not terrible either. It's just the guns should be the loudest thing you're doing. It's a cool customized weapon. Oh, step, jab, jab. I'll admit, the combat looks a lot better than it did in the first trailer. I can't lie. All I can rag on is the sound effects. It looks like this year delay, but was needed and worth it, because this feels better. Like, I was expecting to come in here and like nitpick the physics, the motion, something, but it looks good. It feels great. It's just the guns. Your gun doesn't feel great. In my mind, a lot of them are low impact, not enough sound. They've made major improvements. I am very pleased. And I love that they took NPCs don't look like they're getting hit by anything or in combat to heart and changed it. It's so good shooting people. That's hilarious. Like in the leg. I want to say fun, but it's like fucked up things. It's so fun, like shooting them in the leg and watching them like stumble, or shooting them in the arm and they like flinch or drop their weapon. That stuff's so cool. It looks like they did that in this game. Oh, be giving us shouts, horsepowers. Yep. Magic.
Thanks again for being with us today. We are just so grateful that you've taken the time and spent it here. I know there was probably a lot to take in. There's a lot to the game, even more than we could show here. You know, as we play it, we're always sharing these unique and special moments that only a game like this can bring. When I think about what makes it special, it really is the people here. This game is a reflection of the incredible and passionate team that made it.
Everyone's got a controller on their desk, which makes me wonder if the PC port's gonna be shit.
All of them putting something special of themselves into it. So let's hear some of their favorite moments.
I love the way that our final combination of all the new tech has come together to create some of the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises we've ever had in any of our games.
I love the creatures, the exploration, every biome is different. The word that comes to mind is vast.
I like to use our photo mode to take rockstar photos.
Like I said, I can't even imagine how many things are Reddit, Instagram, every social media is going to be blowing up, which is cool photos.
I just love that constant feel.
Also, thumbnails. Yes. Thank you, photo modes. I love them. One of the best things I've ever had to games for thumbnails. Oh, the editing it saves in Photoshop. Thanks.
Of discovery, and wow, I can't believe that there's more here.
I'm most excited about our outpost building systems.
My favorite part is every time you step out on a planet, it's a unique experience.
You spent all this time building your ship, and you see it on the landing pad. These things are gigantic. It's the kind of thing that you just can't get anywhere else.
Oh, it gives me butterflies and the chills. Like, I'm a space nerd. I love spaceships so much. Aerospace nerd. Love it. Oh, I can't wait.
There's something about
It's
seeing
so
a
cool.
tower over in the distance and going, I know the gravity's low here. I think I can make that jump.
My favorite part is biomes, spaceships, audio design, planet.
Well, who was that?
Jump. My favorite part is biomes, spaceships, audio design.
Him. Audio design. My biggest complaint about the whole damn game so far is sound design's a little meh. I didn't even talk about the spaceships. The thrusters sound cool, but not as visceral as they should. I find loud, visceral sounds of spaceships. Maybe I'm an audiophile. I know that in real life. So I have like Sennheiser headphones and rattles and everything else driving me nuts.
Design, planets,
The day-night cycle, those details matter to me.
diplomacy,
Exploration, freedom, the ending.
Beskip, obviously.
I love the robot so much.
The incredible amount of worlds we created.
Sniper rifles, come on.
Lever action, rocket launcher.
Brain sprout. I love
That's
it. Some people
disgusting.
might find creepy. I don't know. I know that's right, Ben. The thing that I enjoy most about the game is the freedom to be
I want to do like a side by side of all these gorgeous landscapes and then this. Like, look at these fucking dudes. There's not a single hair on their fucking bodies, other than their face. They doesn't even have armpit hair. No happy trail, no chest hair, no leg hair, no arm hair, perfectly smooth skin, no pores, no deflections, no nothing. They look straight out of like, I don't even know. Because I want to say like straight out of Skyrim, but I use so many mods when I play Skyrim where I don't know, but like, look at the high detailed robot right next to him. These look like mannequins. They're all doll, all humans, mannequin dolls in this game.
who you want to be,
Wow.
do what you want to do.
Is that a creature or is that a player? Because they have it silhouetted like it's a player. And they said, be who you want to be. But what the
It's what you've come
fuck
to
is on
expect
him and
from a
around him?
Bethesda title, but on a much bigger scale.
Stop saying what we expect from a Bethesda title, because currently we expect shit. Garbage, hot garbage is what we expect. There's a lot of people that are holding out hope. There's a lot of people that come to the defense of this game and jump down people's throats. Come on, Bethesda, you've done rectified yourself a lot in a lot of games, but also just like your launches, you've been some of the worst. It's fine. Hopefully this is not the case. Microsoft, please hold them some damn standards, please and thank you. And yeah, I mean, I want desperately to be able to say Bethesda's making a game. It's just going to be amazing because it's Bethesda. I would love to be able to say that about Blizzard again. Just so many companies that used to do banger work that just don't. They don't do it anymore. I'm making a fist because I'm holding a dongle in my hand. Yep, I said dongle. It's a headphone dongle for a headphone. Or for a phone. Just... Don't spoil
On
the
behalf
finished
of all of
artifact for us.
We can't wait for you to play Starfield and make your own special moments.
Let's go. Good luck, Constellation. You are go for launch.
So yeah. I haven't felt this way in a while about after reacting to a game, especially a AAA game. I'm more excited now than I was going into it. I was super hyped about Cyberpunk. And after watching their trailers and gameplay, I called shit out. I said, this looks fucking weird. The driving looks weird. The physics looks weird. Little freaking details. I was like, they are hiding stuff. This is not right. I called it out. I got exploded on, flamed, attacked. I don't really care. It's whatever. And it was all true. All of it. Multiple times. The only thing they haven't shown me that I really want to see is moving over rough terrain while shooting or with your gun up or in third person. They didn't do it once. Not a single time did they run over rocks or anything at high speed while shooting and running. They didn't do any of the slide down the cliffs. They didn't do anything. You look at Ghost Recon Wildlands or Ghost Recon Breakpoint, actually, and the way you move down hills and rocks in that game is fantastic. Unparalleled in any game compared to me that I've seen. And they did not show in this, and that scares me a tiny bit. But I don't see any major red flags. I don't have any major concerns. I have my criticisms. I have my feedback. I made those very clear. And they're stupidly small things. Like sound design for guns, you want to say isn't stupidly small. But like, it's whatever. They're not known for it. It's fine. But truly, I'm excited. I have a giant smile on my face, and I am desperate to get my hands on this game. I would love to get it early so I could actually play it at launch. If my daughter wants to give me an early present and wait an extra 2 to 3 weeks, sorry, honey, love you to death, before she comes out or come out early, it's fine. That's a fucked up thing to wish for. But like, I'm super excited about this game. And it's going to be a crazy, chaotic time in my life when this game comes out. And I get it now. I get the hype. I get all the articles I saw. I get everyone pre-ordering it. I get this shooting up on the Steam list, Steam's bestseller list. And I'm like afraid right now to say, I think it's worth pre-ordering. I think you don't have to be too concerned. That's fucked up to say for a AAA game. And I saw an article where one of the Microsoft people said if it launched now, it would be the least buggy launch or game Bethesda has ever made. And that holds a lot of weight. And now, after seeing this, I believe him. I truly believe him. I think they have their normal clipping. I think there's going to be some issues. There might be some progression breaking just due to the complexity. And that just happens at launch when people do combinations that they never saw or tested. That's fine. It happens. Game breaking bugs can absolutely suck. Hopefully they don't have any of like the save breaks, but like you just can't tell any of that stuff from these trailers. And I truly don't know the last AAA game I've reviewed or looked at that I can't think of a reason why you wouldn't, other than it's Bethesda. It's like, it's Bethesda. And they've fucked us so many times before. So like that hesitation is still there, but also I just see no red flag. I see no giant red flags. They didn't seem to hide too much. I said the only thing they seem to have really hidden from us. Some people probably aren't going to like that. It looks like it's an animation to take up and land on planets. I don't think it's going to be atmospheric transition of any sort. You'll be able to fly around planets, but not actually land on them or do anything of that nature yourself. You have to pick a place, and the AI will put you in a load screen to do it. Is probably what it seems like. Which it's a toss up because there's a lot of games that are doing the in-atmospheric flight, and there's some that aren't. So you're kind of in this weird transitional period where that's really hard to do. And this is definitely easier to do, and they took the easier route. I think that'll make this, I want to say, age worse once all those other games where you can just land yourself better. But also the coming into the atmosphere and landing in No Man's Sky feels honestly kind of like shit. It's not the worst, but it's just not a super rewarding experience, and the landing is hyper janky, and the auto flying assist to stop you from smashing into things feels like crap. It's like, I get it. I get why they chose this option to remove that whole jank. But I don't know. Yeah, I just pre-order it, do it. I think you're safe to do it. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think they're pulling the wool over our eyes. They might be pulling the wool over our eyes a little bit on performance and looks. If you're going to go console, also I've heard that it's locked at 30 FPS. And after I have a 240 hertz monitor, 30 FPS like hurts my brain almost. It feels so fucking chunky and glitchy. And I've said this before, never get a 240 hertz monitor. It'll ruin 60 FPS for you, and 60 FPS should continue to feel good for you. And I wish I never played Outer Worlds at 244 frames per second. It's the only game I've ever been able to play at max settings and have smooth gameplay at 244. And it's the best feeling thing I've ever played. It's the hertz difference. This isn't about hertz. This is about Starfield. I'm speechless. This doesn't happen. It's a AAA game that I'm fucking excited about. And on that note, we're almost at the 3-hour mark. I'm going to see you all in the next one. This is amazing. You go, Bethesda. Revitalize your company. Reimagine your brand. Come back to what you were. Yes. Yes, just yes. Click on the cards. Do all things. I'll see you all. Bye.